Golden Age Radio is starting now. Subscribe to get future updates.
Hey everybody, get ready for some great shows. Starting out with Cavalcade of America, Lux Theater with some great Hollywood stars, Groucho Marx, one of the best comedians in history, and also followed by the hilarious Red Skelton.
The Cavalcade of America, presented by DuPont. This evening, DuPont presents episodes in the life of America's first great novelist, James Fenimore Cooper. In the ranks of the Cavalcade of America march many sturdy pioneers in all fields of endeavor: exploration, business, commerce, statecraft, art, and science. Possibly no other nation over the same span of years can point to so many splendid achievements of her sons and daughters. Among these pioneers are also the research chemists, to whom we owe many of the comforts and conveniences we enjoy today. Their contributions are aptly summed up in the DuPont pledge: better things for better living through chemistry. As an overture, Don Voorhees and his DuPont Cavalcade Orchestra join two unrelated subjects: James Fenimore Cooper's Indian legends and St. Patrick's Day, by playing an excerpt from Natoma, the American Indian opera by the great Irish-American composer Victor Herbert. James Fenimore Cooper was born in 1789. During his youth, which was passed in western New York, then a wilderness, he showed no aptitude for books or writing. After 2 years at Yale, at the age of 19, he secured a commission as midshipman in the United States Navy. In 1811, he resigned, married Susan Delancey of Westchester, and settled down to the domestic life of a country gentleman. One evening in 1820, in his Westchester home near Mamaroneck, we find Cooper reading aloud to his wife from an English novel which has just been received in America.
I beg your forgiveness, my fair Lady Vera. The manly form of Lord Edmund knelt by the side of the beautiful but proud heiress of Rosewood Manor. His dark eyes besought hers. Oh,
James, throwing a book on the floor?
oh, just trash.
In our 8 years of marriage, I've never seen you display such temper. The book seems to me as entertaining as any of Mrs. Opie's other novels.
Entertaining, Sue? Why, I could write a better book myself.
Oh, James.
I mean it.
You write a book? Why, you who admit being the worst penman in America. James, you told me the principal reason you agreed to live here in Westchester was so you'd be spared the need of writing to me when I came home to visit my parents.
Well, there's some truth in that, my dearest Sue. But I still maintain I could write a better book than this trash from England.
James Cooper. All right, I challenge you to do it.
Why, I had not meant that I'd actually said about the writing of a book,
Then
Sue.
you shouldn't make empty boasts.
Well, there'd be no harm in trying. The most difficult part of writing a novel must be to start it. Well, then, I accept your challenge. For your private amusement, Susan, I'll write one novel. But no one must ever know.
James Fenimore Cooper would never have completed that first novel if his wife had not continued to challenge him. And solely to please her, he printed a few hundred copies at his own expense. In the tradition of the early 19th century, it was a story of English high society, and it appeared without the author's name. One evening, a few weeks after the book is printed, Cooper and his wife dine at the Westchester home of their intimate friend, Judge John Jay. In the drawing room after dinner, Cooper is startled to hear one of the guests, a Miss McDonald, discussing his book.
Have you read the new novel called Precaution, Mr. Jay?
Yes, Miss McDonald, I have. Interesting book.
Interesting enough, but I am indignant with the booksellers. Say that American gentleman wrote it. I can state emphatically it was written by an Englishwoman.
Why do you suppose the bookseller states that an American wrote it, Miss McDonald?
Oh, I can't answer that, Mr. Jay. But I'm sure it's a fraudulent statement. That book was undoubtedly written by the English novelist, Mrs. Opie. One of her poorer books, of course. One of her poorer books, Miss McDonald. Why, I thought it a better novel than any Mrs. Opie ever wrote. Well, each of us to her taste. Gracious, is that 9 o'clock? My coachman must be at the door. It has been a delightful evening, Mr. Jay. And it has been a pleasure, Mrs. Cooper, to see you and Mr. Cooper again. Thank you, and good night, Miss McDonald. Oh, Mr. Cooper, when you have read this new book, Precaution, please let me know if you do not agree that Mrs. Opie wrote it.
I'll read it with interest, Miss McDonald, and let you know my opinion.
Good night.
Good night.
I shall escort you to your carriage, Miss McDonald. Be back in just a moment, Mr. and Mrs. Cooper.
Well,
James, please don't be distressed. Before Mr. Jay gets back, I want to tell you, it really is a compliment, Miss McDonald, thinking Mrs. Opie wrote your book.
one of Mrs. Opie's poorer novels, she said. And I set out to do a better one.
I think it's an admirable book, James. No other Westchester gentleman could have done as well.
But don't you see what I've done? I've imitated those atrocious novels of Mrs. Opie, with her English society and lords and ladies. I've never been in London, yet I tried to write about it.
But all English novels are about society people.
Well, not these new Waverley novels, Sue.
Oh, but you couldn't write books like those, James. You've never been to Scotland either.
No. The only country I know is America. Westchester, Cooperstown, Lake Otsego.
Yes, and no one ever writes about America. It's too rough, too crude, too new. Well, there's nothing in America to interest readers.
I wonder. Sue, dearest, I'm ashamed of myself. I wrote Precaution because of an idle boast, and I failed. I'm so angry with myself, I'm going to have to write one more book. And this time I'll write about something I really know.
Challenged by failure, James Fenimore Cooper now challenged himself to write a book. At last it was completed, and in the hands of his bookseller and publisher friend, Charles Wiley. Cooper has made the long trip from Westchester to New York City to visit Wiley and to hear the verdict on his second book, entitled The Spy. He greets Wiley hopefully.
Well, Wiley, have you read it?
Cooper, you've been my friend for several years. I wish there were a gentle way of telling you what I must tell you today.
Wiley, you mean you don't like the book?
This is the strangest book I've read in all my years as a bookseller and publisher. I'm sorry, but it's not worth wasting paper to print and bind it.
You found no merit in the book whatsoever?
Well, can't you yourself see the faults of the book? You're an intelligent man, Cooper. Surely you must know no book like this has ever been written. A book whose setting is the American wilderness.
Is it your honest judgment that no American would read a book about his own country?
Well, it's the judgment of any sane man, Cooper. Americans want to read of life and manners in polished European circles. They know too much about Indians and rough frontiersmen already.
I'm afraid you're right, Wiley. My wife's enthusiasm led me to be too hopeful of the book. To think, I'd come here today intending to offer you the copyright at a small price.
Well, I'm sorry, Cooper, but I don't dare gamble on it.
I understand, Wiley. I appreciate your frankness. It's a funny thing. After I completed 2 chapters, I would have burned them. But my wife begged me to finish the book. And now she tells me it's her dream to see it printed. I think to please her, I'll print it myself.
Charles Wiley lived to regret his refusal to buy the copyright of The Spy. Despite the fact that books were distributed slowly in those days of stagecoaches and packet boats, scarcely a year had passed before The Spy had been declared a remarkable piece of fiction. James Fenimore Cooper was hailed in this country and even in London as America's first novelist. Encouraged this time by success, Cooper wrote one more novel, The Pioneer, and still another, The Pilot. But his most famous book was yet to be written. In the year 1825, James Cooper is at home recovering slowly from a serious illness. One afternoon, his devoted wife, Sue, hurries to his bedside as he calls in a feeble voice,
Sue, dear.
Yes, James.
Please bring me a paper and pen.
Oh, but James, you're not strong enough to hold a pen. And the doctor said
Oh, bother the doctor. There's something I must set on paper this minute.
There, James. Now, please don't excite yourself, dear. Your favorite pen is here, right on this table. Now, have Martha bring the paper. Martha?
Yes, Miss Susan?
Will you please bring some sheets of paper at once to Mr. Cooper? They're on the desk in the drawing room.
Yes, Miss Susan. I'll fetch him directly.
Glens Falls. The cave on the rocky island. A perfect hiding place for Indians. Ideal setting.
Yes, dear. I remember you told me about your trip to Glens Falls last summer. It must have been a beautiful sight.
Uncas, the last of his tribe, the Mohegans. That's it. The last of the Mohegans. Susan, where is that paper?
I'll fetch you the paper you write on, Master Cooper. Here it is.
And the pen?
It's here, James, dear. Oh, please, you must not sit up, dear. You're not strong enough.
Oh, I can help pull Master Cooper up in the bed.
Oh, my back
Take it
seems
easy,
to
sir.
breaking too hard. I can't do it. I can't hold the pen.
I have an idea, James. You tell me what it is you want to say, and I'll write it. I write a fairly legible hand.
Far more legible than mine. Are you ready to write, Sue?
Just a moment, dear. There, I'm ready.
The breech of Hawkeye's rifle fell on the naked head of his adversary, whose muscles...
Oh, wait, not quite so fast, dear.
Whose muscles appeared to wither under the shock.
Yes?
When Uncas had brained his first antagonist, he turned like a hungry lion to seek another. Suddenly darting at each other, the two combatants closed and came to the earth, twisting together like twining serpents in pliant and subtle folds.
Mercy, almost.
Covered as they were with dust and blood, the swift evolution of the two men seemed to incorporate their bodies into one.
Oh, Lord.
The fiery eyes of Magua were seen glittering like the fabled organs of the basilisk.
James, dear, are you sure you're strong enough to do this today?
Did Master Cooper come out in his bed?
Wait just a second, James. I need another sheet of paper. Martha.
Yes.
Send for the doctor at once. This is horrible.
Oh, yes.
The words Mr. Cooper's telling me to write sound like a nightmare. I'm afraid he's delirious again.
Oh, the poor man. He sure is raving, Miss Susan. Well, I was going like grease lightning for that doctor.
Susan,
Yes?
where are you going? I'm not finished. I must get this one scene on paper.
I'm right here, dear.
What was the last line I gave you?
Wait. The fiery eyes of Magua were seen glittering like the fabled organs of the basilisk.
Yes. The Mohegan now found an opportunity to make a powerful thrust with his knife. Magua suddenly fell backward without a motion. Victory to the Mohegan, cried Hawkeye, elevating the butt of his long and fatal rifle.
And in this manner was born the book which was to assure James Fenimore Cooper's immortality, The Last of the Mohicans. Let us turn the pages and recall some of its stirring scenes. Its hero, the noble Indian Uncas, soon ranked in popularity here and abroad with Sir Walter Scott's Ivanhoe. The setting of this dramatic narrative of frontier and Indian life is the wilderness of northern New York State. Now, as our scene opens, Uncas, with ear to the ground, warns his friend, the white hunter Hawkeye, that men are approaching.
Your ears are sharper than mine, Uncas. I hear nothing.
The horses of white men are close to us.
It is true. The leader comes in sight. The two young ladies riding close behind. Fools to venture into these woods infested as they are of Hurons. Who comes?
Two young ladies and an English officer who journeyed since the rising sun and are sadly weary. Whoa.
You're lost, then?
We fear so. Whoa, boy. Stand. I'm Major Hayward. These two young ladies are the daughters of Colonel Monroe, commanding officer of the English fort called William Henry. Know you the distance to the fort?
Yeah, then you are lost if you seek William Henry.
Oh, I feared as much. We trusted to a friendly Indian guide, but he seems to have lost his way.
Indian lost in the woods? Not possible. What tribe is he?
The tribe called Hurons.
Huron. Did you hear that, Uncas? They're a thievish tribe. Where is your guide?
I ordered him to ride behind because I suspected he was leading us in the wrong direction. Magua!
The Indian is gone, Duncan. He slipped away in the woods this very moment.
I told you, the Hurons are a lying, treacherous bunch of varmints. These woods are full of them, all on the warpath. If we don't leave this spot at once and cover our tracks with Injun cunning, our scalps will be drying in that wind before this hour tomorrow.
Oh, Duncan, are we truly in such danger?
Have no fear, Alice. I'm sure these kind friends will guide us part of the way to the fort. We must reach it before nightfall.
Before nightfall? Look at the sky. Darkness will soon be on us.
Then heaven help us.
Hawkeye, we take pale-face officer and squaws to cave.
Uncas, have you taken leave of your senses? The island cave is our only hiding place, a secret known only to us. It would be fatal to take such a large party there. The Hurons would trace us too readily.
These young ladies are in my care. Their father awaits them anxiously. He and I will be glad to reward you with gold. Plenty of gold when we reach the fort.
Uncas does not want gold. Uncas will not leave pale-face squaws to tomahawks of Hurons. We take them to cave, Hawkeye.
As Hawkeye feared, the whinnying of the girls' horses betray the secret hiding place on the island of Glens Falls. But thanks to the skill of Uncas and Hawkeye and the last of their powder, the Hurons are repulsed temporarily. Uncas, who has been scouting, returns to the cave where Hawkeye, the English travelers, and Uncas' father Chingagook are waiting.
You returned from the river empty-handed, Uncas?
Bad news, Hawkeye. Canoe floats away.
One of them rascally Hurons guided it. We're lost.
You mean that the Hurons discovered your canoe and sent it adrift?
Their end has come.
The Sagamore, my father, has spoken.
A sorry end for a man who's passed 30 years in the forest. To be taken without being able to fire a shot in self-defense.
Is it really true? Are we surrounded by hostile Indians?
Only too true, Miss Alice.
Is there nothing that we can do?
The end has come.
Oh, how frightful. See, the old chief, Uncas' father, has laid down his knife and tomahawk. He's preparing for death.
Oh, I swore to Colonel Monroe I'd escort his daughters safely to the fort. Oh, Hawkeye, surely there's hope yet. We may prevent the Hurons landing on the island.
Prevent their landing, Hayward. With what? The arrows of Uncas or the tears of the women? Chinglegook, my brother. And Uncas, my boy. We fought our last battle together.
Oh, no. Why prepare for death? The path is open on every side. Go, brave men. You're remaining only to protect my sister and me.
You know but little of the craft of the Huron, Miss Cora, if you believe the varmints have left a path open to the woods. And the downstream current, it is true, might soon sweep us beyond the reach of their rifles.
Then try the river. Why linger to add to the number of their victims? Go to my father at the fort and bring gunpowder and men to our rescue.
There's reason in her words. Chinglegook, Uncas. Hear you the words of the dark-eyed woman?
Her word, good. Chinglegook, go river. Bring warriors. It is good.
You see? The older chief is going. Oh, won't you all go, please? You can't help us here.
Cora's right, Hawkeye. Why don't you go, too? I shall remain here with the young ladies. That's enough.
Wisdom is sometime given to the young and to women as well as men. I'll join the Mohican chief. Swim down the river and try to bring a rescue party.
Goodbye, and God go with you.
We're grateful for all you've done, Hawkeye. Farewell.
Had our powder held out, this disgrace could never have befallen. Goodbye. God willing, we shall meet again in this or another world.
But Uncas is still here. Uncas, go quickly before it is too late. Your father is not being seen. He's safe. It's time for you to follow.
Uncas will stay, oh dark-haired one.
Uncas, I beg you. Go to my father at the fort.
My father and Hawkeye go to fort. Uncas will stay.
But hear me, Uncas. You are younger, fleeter of foot than your father or Hawkeye. My sister and I will feel more hopeful if we know that you're on your way to the fort.
Uncas will go. If Hurons carry you away, break twigs, bend bushes, make trail, and Uncas will follow.
I'm sure of it, Uncas. Go now, quickly. And our gratitude and our prayers will go with you.
Within a few hours, the treacherous Huron Magua and a band of savages capture the three whites and force them to ride many miles through the forest. Now in the encampment, Alice, Cora, and Duncan Hayward, closely guarded by several warriors, listen anxiously as some distance away the wily Magua makes an impassioned speech to the Indians.
What is Magua saying?
It is easy to guess. He's settling our fate.
I can read our fortunes in their faces. There's no hope.
And I'm to blame. If only I hadn't trusted that scoundrel Magua to guide us.
You could not, Duncan. Until this moment, I believed Uncas would find our trail.
Uncas and Hawkeye are many miles away. They swam down the river toward the fort, and Magua led us in the opposite direction.
Uncas begged us to mark our trail. I did try to break one overhanging branch, but Magua was watching me.
Oh, it wouldn't have mattered, Cora. See? The scoundrel Magua is approaching. The savages are starting their war dance. It's too late to expect Uncas now.
Oh, Duncan!
Stand back, Alice. I don't intend that any of us will be bound without a struggle.
Light as for weep. She is young to die, but you're unlike pale as scalp.
Don't you dare touch her, you barbarian.
You stubborn!
Love him, don't you? With all my heart, Cora. I should not confess it were we not so close to death. He loves you, too. You may go to your grave and shoulder that. They bound him to that tree. Oh, he's still alive, thank heaven. For Margaret's coming this way again. Cora, I wish I was as brave as you are. I'm frightened. Let us pray to God it will be over quickly. Alice, did you hear that? A crow. You mean the sound with which... Uncas signaled Hawkeye last night. Yes, listen. I hear it. We can only hope, Alice, and pray. Meanwhile, let us face these barbarians with unconcern. Let us show them that white women as well as white men know how to die. I'll try to be brave, Cora.
Light hair, scalp, and dark will soon hang in Magua's wigwam.
Don't touch me. Kill me quickly. I beg you.
Later, squaw want to die. Magua kill. The Mohegan! Uncle, single cook! Come in! Exterminate the violence! No quarter to the curse
Oh, I've returned, old dark-haired one.
Uncle, oh, I knew you'd come. Our prayers have been answered.
Thus, in James Fenimore Cooper's famous novel, The Last of the Mohicans, the noble and romantic Indian hero Uncas, who dies at length in a final valiant attempt to save Cora, became part of the life and language of almost every American and European of the 19th century. As the first great American novelist, and the first novelist to believe that the American scene merited perpetuation in fiction, James Fenimore Cooper is accorded a high place of honor among the illustrious men and women enrolled in the Cavalcade of America.
On Sunday, March 21st, winter is officially over, despite snow underfoot in many sections of the country. The Easter season is just about here, and America will soon be stepping out in its new spring wardrobe. Shop windows from coast to coast are bright with new things. Spring fashion shows are attracting audiences in many communities. And one of the most unusual fashion shows I ever heard about is going to be held next week from Tuesday, March 23rd through Saturday, March 27th in the DuPont exhibit on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Why a fashion show on the DuPont exhibit, you may ask? The answer is that this show depicts how chemistry walks hand in hand with fashion in the modern Easter parade, even creating new styles in many cases. For instance, DuPont chemists developed yarns from which new and better fabrics have been woven for women's gowns. They have found ways to treat these and other fabrics so they are water repellent and crush resistant. In work with dyes, chemists develop new colors that brighten up a hat, a dress, gloves, or any other part of the spring costume. The smartest washable handbags are made of coated fabrics and plastics. Many a dainty feminine shoe is colored by special leather dyes to match costumes. And the scuffless heels that add so much to the looks and life of feminine footgear are developments of chemistry. So is much of the costume jewelry and decorative buttons, buckles, and other embellishments made of DuPont plastics. And there are hats made partly or entirely of colorful cellophane cellulose film. These and a great many other chemical products that play their part in the creation of new and interesting fashions were unknown to you and me a few years ago. They were in the research and experimental stage then. Today we take them for granted as part of our equipment for more enjoyable living. In style shows and Easter parades, and throughout the years, the results of DuPont chemical research are represented by new products and improved products, as practical as they are smart and gay. So you see, even in this field, as in so many others, research chemistry is doing its part to bring us, as DuPont expresses it, better things for better living through chemistry. The House of Glass, incidents in the romantic and colorful life of Henry William Stiegel, first American manufacturer of glass, will be the subject of the broadcast when next week at the same time, DuPont again presents the Cavalcade of America. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
You are listening to H/C/GAR, brought to you by G3PL.com.
From Hollywood, California, the Lux Radio Theater presents Deanna Durbin, Herbert Marshall, Gail Patrick, and William Frawley in Mad About Music. Lux presents Hollywood,
Our play, the sentimental comedy of a young girl hungry for the love of a father, and what happens when circumstance forces her to adopt one. We're always glad, ladies and gentlemen, to hear how you like our program. We enjoy hearing from you. And when you tell us of your purchases of Lux toilet soap as an indication of your appreciation, we're delighted. It's your enthusiasm for our products that makes this program possible. Tonight, we bring you Deanna Durbin, her charm and beautiful voice, Herbert Marshall, Gail Patrick, and William Frawley in Mad About Music. Our special guest is Mrs. Calaphine Morrison of the Los Angeles Public Schools, giving us some interesting sidelights on the training of movie children. Louis Silvers conducts the orchestra. We had expected that Mr. DeMille, our regular producer, would be back with us tonight, but his doctors advised that he defer his return for one more week. Taking his place this week as guest producer, we are fortunate in having that famous and much-loved Broadway and Hollywood personality, Walter Houston. You all know him, you all admire him. We've had him here before in the Lux Radio Theater in such famous plays as Dodsworth. This week, he shows us another side of his versatile personality as guest producer of the Lux Radio Theater. I am happy indeed to bring back one of our best friends. Ladies and gentlemen, Walter Houston.
Thank you, Mr. Ruick, and good evening, everyone. You know, when a man has spent 35 years or so in a business or profession, I used to think he was entitled to form some definite ideas about his work. I know I did about acting, ideas that I cherished for years and years up until last week. In fact, when Mrs. Houston and I happened to go to the movies and see Mad About Music, I used to believe that it required many years before an actor could really accomplish things. When youngsters would come and ask me what I could tell them about going on the stage or screen, that's what I told them. Hard work, experience, an intense desire for the job. Then along comes a pretty little girl of 15 called Deanna Durbin who knocks the spots out of all this sort of thing completely. Miss Durbin didn't want to be an actress. She wanted to be an opera singer. She had no experience. She lived in Los Angeles after coming here from Canada where she was born. But she paid no attention to the big studios that were her neighbors. She didn't collect autographs or stand in front at premieres or even visit a studio. Not only that, but she's at what I always thought was a girl's awkward age, when she's no longer a child and not yet a woman. But here she is, one of the biggest stars in the motion pictures, and one of the few I've ever heard of to make 3 smash hits in a row. How do I explain it? I don't. I only shake my head and wonder at her artistry. But I do know that Miss Durbin must have more than a great natural talent. She must have a tremendous innate honesty to be able to turn in the natural, convincing performances that so distinguish her. Since meeting her this past week, I've learned a few things more about her. That a good meal to Miss Durbin means a sirloin steak with chocolate caramel for dessert. She likes riding on horses and bicycles, has a pet spaniel named Tippy, and is something of a tease. With brown hair, blue eyes, and weighs 105 pounds. And perhaps there is some clue to the secret of her splendid acting in a bit of advice given to her by Adolphe Mongeau. Deanna, he told her, it takes just as much effort to make a bad picture as it takes to make a good one. She's never forgotten it. We hear Miss Durbin tonight as Gloria Harkinson. And with her come the same 3 stars from the picture. Herbert Marshall, who had just begun his new film, Anime Territory, at MGM, is Richard Todd. Gail Patrick is Miss Gwen Taylor, and Mr. William Frawley is Dusty Turner. Also from the original cast are Jackie Moran, Kristen Rubb, Helen Parrish, and Marcia May Jones, as the Lux Radio Theater presents Mad About Music. At the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. The picture has just ended, and the crowd filters into the flood-lighted patio, eager to exchange opinions, eager to announce the birth of a new star.
Surefire, it can't miss.
Gwen Taylor makes it.
Gwen Taylor is right. She's
They should have started long ago.
They'll star her now.
She's marvelous.
An hour later, the whole town, anxious to toast her name, new star sits alone in her room. There's a letter in her hand, and as she reads, her lips slowly frame the cherished words. Her manager knocks at the door.
Hey, Gwen, can I come in?
Come in.
Say, there's a lot of people waiting for you to start a party.
Let me finish this letter, Dusty.
Oh, sorry. I forgot it's Tuesday. Well, what does she want now?
Just an elephant tusk.
Elephant tusk. Last month it was a tiger skin. The month before that, an African voodoo mask. Now an elephant tusk. Well, we're lucky it isn't the whole elephant, I guess.
All those funny presents. What kind of a girl is she, Dusty, this daughter of mine?
She's just a kid. All kids collect stuff. Dolls, pictures, elephant tusks.
But this is different. I don't know anything about her, what she's really like, what's happening.
Nothing's happening to her. Why, she's in the best school in Switzerland.
But she should be here.
She can't be here.
You won't even let me write to her.
It's too dangerous, Gwen. Now, we've been over this thing 1,000,000 times. You're doing a great job as a mother. You never got married again after her father died. You never stopped working. And now the kid has everything.
Everything but a mother. Dusty, I'm going to send for her.
Now, wait. Look, Gwen. To the whole world, you're Gwen Taylor, a glamour girl. That's the role that made you a star. Now, if they found out you had a daughter that's almost as big as you are, you'd have to start all over again.
All right, I'll start over.
But you can't, I tell you. Listen, you go on working, just for a while, and we'll run up a bankroll. The kind of a bankroll so that you and the kid will never have to worry again as long as you live. Then you can go to Switzerland, climb up on the highest Alp they've got over there, and tell the whole world that you're not Gwen Taylor, that you're Mrs. Sarah Harkinson, that you've got a daughter named Gloria, and that she's 14 years old. And if they don't like it, they can... Well, then they don't like it. Come on, now, what do you say?
All right, Dusty.
Good girl.
But see what you can do about that elephant tusk.
Young ladies must not stick nails in other young ladies' bicycle tires. You may write that on the blackboard, Gloria.
But, Mademoiselle, I didn't do it.
Write it 200 times, please, Gloria.
But I didn't do it. I didn't stick nails in anyone's tires.
Then who did?
Why, it wasn't I, Mademoiselle.
I'm sorry, Gloria. When you finish, you may join the other young ladies at their game.
Young ladies must not stick nails in other young...
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Mind if I watch Gloria? Young ladies must not stick nails in other young ladies' bicycle tires.
You're the one who did it, aren't you, Felice?
How many times do you have to write it?
I knew it was you.
100 or 200?
I know. You're angry because I was the leader today. Why do you dislike me, Felice?
What makes you think I dislike you?
Don't you?
No. I don't dislike you. I hate you. Goodbye, Gloria.
Young ladies must not stick...
Gloria.
Olga, you better get away from that window. If Miss Few's not sees...
She won't. Felice was just here, wasn't she? What did she say?
Oh, nothing.
She's starting up trouble again. You know what she said today? It was about your father.
What did she say about my father?
She said she didn't believe he was an explorer, and she didn't believe he sent you the voodoo mask and the tiger skin and all those trophies and things.
Oh, who pays any attention to what she said?
Nobody, but she said she was going to prove it.
Well, how can she? What about all those letters he writes to me?
Well, she says he doesn't. She says you write them yourself.
Well, how did she happen to say that?
It's the most awful lie. I tried to stop her.
Oh, who cares? You better go now.
All right. I wish you could come.
Oh, Olga, if you see old Pierre around, will you tell him I want to see him?
He's not here. He took the carriage into town to get garden tools.
Oh, well, I'll see him tonight.
Come in.
Good evening, Pierre.
Hello, Gloria. How was that? Pretty good?
Very good, Pierre.
Sit down. Sit down. You want another stamp from my album, yeah?
Well, yes.
Where is the papa now?
He's in Africa.
We'll see where in Africa. Ah, the Gold Coast. Say, that's a 10-franc stamp. Give me the letter.
I didn't write the letter.
What?
I didn't write the letter yet.
But don't you write yourself a letter from your papa every Saturday?
Yes, but this Saturday you've got to write it.
Me?
Please.
That's forgery.
No, it isn't. Not if I tell you what to write.
No. Let me think it over a few days, and when I think it over, I don't think I'll do it.
Oh, but I can't wait. I have to get it when the elephant tusk comes. It's a matter of life and death.
That's a good idea. We send a cable and say he got killed.
Oh, no, we can't do that. I need him. All the other girls talk about their fathers.
What about your mother? Doesn't she do something?
Oh, no, and I can't talk about her. Oh, please, Pierre.
But I can't write so good, Mom. My hand shakes.
I'll say my father has a fever. Please.
But when you do it, it's you writing a dream. But when I do it, it's me writing a lie.
You can cross your fingers like this. That means you don't mean it. Please, Pierre.
Why do you always make me do something when I don't want to do it? Well, go ahead. I'll write it.
My dear darling daughter, I am far in the deep jungle tonight working toward the Nile. But how I wish I were with my little girl.
Keep in line. Keep in line, please, young ladies. And no talking on the way to church, if you please.
It's raining, Miss Busenot.
I can see that, child. Umbrellas, open. Ready, march. 1, 2, 1, 2. Gloria, you may go to the organ loft directly we reach the church. Lead the opening hymn, please.
Yes, mademoiselle.
Gloria, look. The boys from the military academy. There's the one who pumps the organ. He watches you singing all the time.
Olga, stop it. Don't look at them. Which one do you mean?
What? Well, you told me not to look.
Well, look a little bit, but don't let them see you. Oh. Oh, hello.
Hello.
God bless you.
Thank you. It's the dust up here.
Yes, it is dusty.
Very dusty. I guess that's because there's so much...
Dust.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'm to pump the organ today.
Oh, pump the organ? That's very nice.
Yes, it is nice.
Yes. Well, I've got to go now.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye. No, there's something else first.
What?
What's about me and you, too? Would you like to walk with me at the confectioner's sometime? Say Monday when I have a 3-hour off time for winning an essay contest about Napoleon?
Oh, Monday?
Well, that's tomorrow, and your school goes to the festival. My name's Tommy Gray, and I'm from the United States, California, in the southern part near Mexico.
From California? Near Hollywood?
Yes. San Diego. I'm sorry.
Sorry?
I shouldn't have asked you to meet me at the confectioner's.
Oh, but I'd love to hear about California, especially Hollywood and the people in the movies.
Well, I know all about them. I get fan magazines from America.
All right. Monday.
Honest? 3 o'clock.
All right. Well, I've got to sing now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hey, start the pumping.
Gloria. Read the rest of the letter, please.
Quiet, everybody.
When the charge was over, 3 elephants were in our pens, and the one that charged me was dead. I'm sending you his tusk. Good night, my dear daughter, and remember that I'm always thinking about you, and hope to see you soon. Your loving father.
Now, aren't you sorry you said what you said, Felice?
That was wonderful about the elephant.
Where are you going to put the tusk?
I think up next to the leopard he shot in Indochina.
Gloria, is this your father's picture? It was hanging on the wall.
Yes, that's my daddy's picture.
I suppose that's one of the elephants he killed?
Yes. Why, Felice?
It's a very interesting picture, especially the back.
Give me that picture.
Oh, not till everybody sees it. Look at the back of it, girls. It's an ad for a cheese company.
Gloria! Well, what about it? My father captured the elephant for that company. He always sells the ones he brings back alive.
So he hunts for a cheese company. What's his name, Ronald or Roquefort? And I'll bet your name is Miss Lemberger. Gloria Lemberger. It sounds good, but P.U.
Please, give me that photograph.
Oh, what do you want with it?
I'll show you what. Give it to me. Young ladies must not make other young ladies eat photographs. Oh, Olga, come in.
I can't.
No one will see you. Where are you going?
I'm going to the exposition.
Oh, you don't want to go to the exposition, do you?
No, but everybody's going.
Listen, would you do me a great, great big favor? Would you stay here and write the rest of these for me?
Oh, no, I couldn't do that.
Oh, I know, but it's a matter of life and death. It really is. You see, I've got to meet him at 3 o'clock, and, well, it's almost 3 now, and...
He? Who's he?
Oh. Well, it's my father.
Your father in Ethelbert?
Well, yes.
He's coming here?
Yes, but just for an hour, and I'm supposed to meet him at the station.
Oh, well, of course I'll stay.
Oh, Olga, thank you.
So, your papa is coming, huh? Is he bringing an elephant with him?
Nobody's coming. You know that, Pierre.
Sure, I know it. But do you know it? You tell Olga, Olga tells the whole school. I told you that dream father makes you a nightmare someday.
Just drive by the station and then the confectionery store, and I'll wait in there, and nobody will know the difference.
All right. But in the next letter, instead of your papa shooting the lion will have to shoot papa. Hey, look at the girls. They're waiting at the station.
Oh, Pierre.
They come to see papa, too, yeah?
Oh, well, what am I going to do? Pierre, what am I going to do?
Better find yourself a papa pretty quick.
Yes. Wait here, Pierre.
But where are you going?
I'm going to find a papa.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Got all the baggage off, Trip?
Yes, sir, 9 pieces, Mr. Todd.
Good. Let's find a porter, shall we?
Yes.
Hello? Hello, mister.
Well?
I said hello.
Oh, hello.
Welcome to Switzerland. Here, take these flowers.
But I don't want any.
Oh, take them, please. There.
Trips, what do you say on an occasion like this?
Just, thank you, little girl.
Thank you,
That's
little girl.
Well, this is an old Swiss custom. We welcome the most distinguished-looking visitor on every train. And I have a carriage waiting for you to show you some of the village and take you wherever you're going.
A carriage? How nice.
With horses, I suppose?
Yes, 1 horse and a driver, but they'll get you
Oh,
there.
yes.
This way, please.
I'm afraid we're putting you to a lot of bother, my child.
Oh, no. You don't know what a great pleasure it is to welcome you. Did you say the Grand Hotel?
Yes, the Grand Hotel.
Oh, it's a lovely place. Oh, would you wait for those girls? They want to welcome you, too.
Oh, yes, of course. Hello. Are you Swiss?
No, I'm an American.
How odd. You're an American carrying out a native Swiss custom to welcome me, an Englishman.
Oh, are you English? That's nice.
Yes, we like it. But I've been in America a good deal, and my home is in Paris.
Mine is in New York, but I've been here in school for the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm. What's your name?
Gloria Harkinson.
Well, I'm Richard Todd.
I'm pleased to meet you. How long are you going to stay here?
5 days.
5 days? Oh, that's awful.
Awful?
Oh, well, I mean, it's awful nice. Not so bad, really. I thought you were just passing through and you were going to Interlaken. Interlaken is very nice. It's only 20 miles more.
And do you always welcome people who come to Ethelberg by telling them how nice it is in Interlaken?
Oh, no, not at all. I just like Interlaken. It's lovely. You'd love it.
I'm not planning on doing any sightseeing. I came here to rest. I'm a very tired man.
I think you look almost as tired as an explorer back from a long trip, don't you?
Whoa.
Well, I hope not. I'm a composer.
Grand Hotel.
Well, it's been very nice now. What are you looking back for?
What? Oh, those girls. I wondered if they were going to follow us. I mean, you.
Well, they don't seem to have.
No, they don't.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Goodbye.
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 So, if Papa is a composer now, just like the daughter who composes the letter.
Oh, Pierre, I think I got out of it very well, don't you? Oh, what a relief.
Gloria, wait.
Olga, why did you tell everybody about my father?
Oh, I couldn't help it, Gloria. I was so excited. Everybody's excited, even Miss Fusnot. What? And yes, what do you think, Gloria? Miss Fusnot says we don't have to attend any classes tomorrow.
Well, why?
Why? Because your father's here. They're going to invite him for lunch.
Down comes the curtain on the first act of tonight's production, Mad About Music, starring Deanna Durbin and Herbert Marshall with Gail Patrick and William Frawley. We decided that during our intermission tonight, we ought to talk a little bit about Easter.
Easter?
Yes, Mr. Jones. What's the matter with that?
Well, it is Easter Monday, but it's still the Lux Radio Theater, and I honestly can't see any special connection between Easter and Lux toilet soap.
Well, I can. Have you forgotten the thousands of beautiful ladies who sauntered up and down Fifth Avenues and main streets all over the country yesterday morning, displaying their new Easter clothes?
I have not. I was intrigued by the shoes with all the holes in the toes, and I'm still wondering whether chin straps are meant to hold the ladies' hats down or their chins up. Even so, I can't see where Lux soap comes into this.
Well, think of all the really attractive women you saw in the Easter parade. Didn't they all have clear, smooth complexion?
Oh, I begin to follow you, Mr. Ruick, and you're absolutely right. A beautiful ensemble, isn't that what they call it?
That's right.
Loses a lot of its charm if the lady's complexion isn't, well, all it might be.
That's exactly what I mean, Mr. Jones. Without a smooth, lovely skin, no other charm counts. And right there, Lux toilet soap comes in. Lovely ladies everywhere find it guards against unattractive cosmetic skin. Gives complexions the kind of beauty care they ought to have.
It guards some beautiful complexions right here in Hollywood.
Right again. The figures are that actually 9 out of 10 Hollywood screen stars use Lux toilet soap regularly.
And, of course, that's very significant, because screen stars must have the best. And when they overwhelmingly favor Lux toilet soap, and have consistently for years, why, that's something.
And now let me remind the ladies in our audience that it's Lux toilet soap's active lather that guards against the choked pores that cause dullness, tiny blemishes, and enlarged pores. Cosmetic skin. This active lather removes stale cosmetics, dust, and dirt thoroughly. Preserves the fresh, soft smoothness that never fails to win admiration, romance. And now, our guest producer, Walter Houston.
Once again, Mad About Music, starring Deanna Durbin and Herbert Marshall with Gail Patrick and William Frawley. It's the following day, and the whole school is feverish with excitement because Gloria's father, the adventurer, the hunter, the famous explorer, is coming to lunch. Up the road from the gate strides Mr. Todd, his shoulders set, stick swinging with grim resolution. Gloria spies him from the window and rushes to meet him.
Mr. Todd.
How do you do? I thought you'd be here.
Oh, wait, please. Before you go in there, I want to
Before I go in there, I want to tell you that I've been invited for lunch. It seems I have a daughter at this school.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry it happened, and I can explain the whole thing. Wait.
I'm sorry it happened, too, but I'll do the explaining, and it won't wait.
Oh, please listen.
I'm not interested.
But you've got to be interested. I had to make you up.
You had to what?
I had to make you up. See, I have no father, and I can't talk about my mother, and I just made up a father, and you just happened to come along, and then you were it.
I was it. Well, young lady, I don't like to be it.
Oh, you don't have to be. You can go away. Please go away.
Not until I've straightened this out.
Oh, please don't go in there. It's a matter of life and death.
I'm sorry.
But they'll know all the stories about my father weren't true.
Well, you should have thought of that before you told them.
Oh, you've got to help me.
Afraid I can't.
But I'm an American, and you're an Englishman, and England's some other country.
Well, that doesn't mean that I have to be your father.
Oh, I know, but if you don't go in there, you don't have to be anybody. Please.
Oh, welcome to our little institute, Mr. Hawkinson.
I wish you wouldn't call me Mr. Hawkinson.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gloria said you were incognito. Come in, please. Girls, quiet, please. Now, girls, I want to present you to Gloria's father.
How do you do, Mr. Hawkinson?
Wait. Before you go any further, I think there's something you want to know.
Oh, please wait.
When you do me all this honor, you rather embarrass me.
Oh, no, please don't.
Until I realize that you're really paying honor to my daughter.
Oh.
I hope the food is satisfactory, Mr.
Harkinson will do. I'm not incognito here. Yes, the lunch is excellent.
Well, we didn't know exactly what explorers are accustomed to eating.
Oh, penguin and seal steaks, polar bear chops.
In Africa, you have seal steaks and polar bears?
No, please. That's when he's in the North Pole, isn't it, Daddy?
Yes, the North Pole. There are no polar bears in Africa, young lady.
Everybody knows that. In Africa, you have lion meat, don't you, Daddy?
Sometimes, but lions generally are a bit tough. Now, giraffes are quite delicious, especially the neck.
Really?
Yes, they're quite the thing for dinner parties. 20 people can sit down to just one giraffe's neck.
Oh, Mr. Harkinson, what about the elephant you captured for the cheese company?
Oh, the elephant for the cheese company, you mean? What about it?
They put it on the package.
Oh, well, you wanted to know about the elephant for the cheese factory. Yeah, quite a package.
So that means it was a big elephant. That's the way hunters talk. A big elephant, they say package. I think it's kind of cute, don't you, Felice?
It also means very wild, untamable.
He seemed pretty tame in the photograph when you were sitting on his neck.
Yeah, when I was sitting on his neck. Well, that's easy to explain. I have a peculiar effect on elephants. I just look them in the eye.
In only one eye?
Yes, you see, it's rather a job to look an elephant in two eyes. One's over here, and the trunk comes in between, and the other one's over there.
But how did you capture him?
Single-handed, didn't you, Daddy?
Oh, yes.
You tracked him for days.
Days and days, up hill and down dale. Then one morning I met him face to face. Fixed my stare on one eye, then in most decided fashion I said, "Elephant, I'm your master." He came toward me, running. "Stop," I said. His steps grew slower. Then he grabbed me around the waist with his trunk and lifted me high. I thought he was going to dash me into the bottomless chasm. Slowly I felt his trunk slip from my waist, and I fell. Yes, I fell on the back of his neck where he wanted me. He looked up at me and smiled. Then he galloped off with me into the jungles and brought me to the throne of the beautiful white princess.
The White Princess? Oh, you never told me about her before.
Didn't I? I must have slipped my mind. Well, now, let me
Daddy,
see.
before I forget you, well, didn't you say you wanted to hear me sing?
That's splendid. Of course I do. I'll play for you. What can you sing?
Whatever you can play.
Do you know Chapel Bells?
If you can play it, I can sing it.
All these pictures and trophies on the wall.
Every bit of it.
At any rate, I'm proud of myself. But you've told your friends some very tall tales.
But I kept my fingers crossed. When you do that, it means you don't mean it.
Did I send you that elephant tooth?
Tusk.
I mean tusk. Where did I get it?
Africa.
Africa. I get around a good deal, don't I?
Wherever Pierre has a stamp from.
I'm quite a chap. Hunter, explorer, family man. Oh, by the way, sit down a second.
Yes, sir.
This is a bit awkward, but yesterday when I came to Switzerland, I was a bachelor. I had no wife and I had no children. Today, of course, I have a daughter and somewhere in the world, a wife.
Oh, please don't ask me about my mother.
Only what she looks like and where she lives. Those questions come up, it seems.
Well, I'll show you a picture of her. I keep it locked in the drawer. I've never let anybody else see this, but I guess it's all right to show it to you.
Certainly, I'm a sort of relative now.
That was my father. He was a Navy flyer. He died when I was a baby.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this your mother?
Yes, and that's me when I was a baby.
Oh, you've grown some since then.
Yes, I have.
And you do look like her.
Oh, thank you.
What's her name?
Parkinson?
Oh, it's the same as mine. Well, that's customary.
Well, young man?
How do you do, Mr. Harkinson?
I'm not Mr. Harkinson. Mr. Todd is Mr. Harkinson. I mean, Mr. Harkinson is Mr. Todd. Oh, well, I'm his secretary.
Oh.
What is it you wish, please?
Well, it's kind of a family matter, I guess.
Family matter? Oh. This way, please. Mr. Todd.
What do you want?
It's very important, sir.
What's important?
Your son, sir.
What? Yeah, what's he talking about?
He got it all wrong, sir. I'm not your son. I'm Tommy Gray. How do you do?
How do you do?
And I came to see you about your daughter.
My daughter? Gloria. Oh, well, now I'm beginning to see daylight. Sit down.
Thank you, sir. That is, Gloria and I talked to her yesterday at the dentist again. We were having our teeth cleaned. We met there. I was...
Yes, go on. I don't suppose you smoke, do you?
Oh, no, I don't smoke.
Uh-huh. Well, could I get you something to drink? Maybe a glass of milk or something?
No, thanks. I don't like milk. But I'm very fond of your daughter, Gloria. We're very good friends, and that's what I came up to talk to you about.
Whoa, here, not so fast. You and Gloria are good friends.
Yes. That is, I'm a good friend of hers, and I'm going away. But I'll be back. That's what I came to talk to you about when I come back.
Pardon me, you don't mind if I have a drink, do you? This is a very trying time for a father. Now, I think I get the idea. Well, personally, young man, I think Gloria's a little bit too young to be talking about marriage.
Oh, I don't want to marry her.
You don't? This sounds very serious. Just what do you want?
Well, when I get back, you'll be gone away.
Yes.
When you might get killed.
What?
Well, a rhinoceros might gore you, or a lion might jump in your back, or even a tiger.
Oh, yes. It's nice of you to think of that for me.
Oh, you're welcome. And I just want to tell you that if you do get killed, I'll be here. And I want you to tell Gloria that she can turn to me.
Now, that's a very comforting thought. And I'll remember it, too, when I'm lying in the jungle with the rhinoceros kneeling on my back.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Any little thing I can do to make life pleasant for you, I'm glad to do. I'll tell her that if I get killed, well, that you're to be a father to her.
Oh, thanks very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Oh, it's wonderful, Mr. Harkinson. It isn't often the young ladies have a party. They do enjoy it so.
No more than I do.
Yes, we're all children at heart, aren't we?
Aren't we?
Telegram for you, sir.
Telegram? Oh, excuse me, please.
Oh, of course, Mr. Harkinson.
Gloria, you come here a minute?
Yes, Daddy.
I have to leave for Paris tonight.
Tonight? Oh, I'm sorry.
I have to. It's business. I think you better tell the girls.
Yes, I better.
What are you going to tell them?
Well, my fingers are crossed. Girls, listen. My daddy just received a cable. Yes, he has to go to La Havre to get a boat. And from Havre, he's going to the North Pole for polar bears.
Neckties. I always forget neckties.
They're already in.
Tired of packing?
No, it's fun.
Fun?
Oh, I didn't mean that it was fun packing for your going away. I mean, I never packed for my father before, and it's fun.
Yes, it is, rather. I better see how Trips is coming along with the trunk. What comes next here?
Goodbye?
No. Goodbye comes later. Socks come next. They're in the top drawer.
Do you want to take the morning paper with you?
I can get a new one at the station. Just...
Oh.
What? What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. I just...
Let me see there. Gwen Taylor in Paris. Was that it? To open American wing of French exposition. Gwen Taylor, motion picture actress, isn't she?
Yes, I think so.
Are you a fan of her?
Oh, no, I've never seen her. But some of the girls talk about her at school.
Oh. What about those socks?
I'll put them in.
And then run back to school and get permission to come to the train.
Oh, may I?
Well, don't you want to?
Well, yes, of course, but, well, maybe I'd better not. Maybe we ought to say goodbye right now. You see, I don't like to say goodbyes, and, well, you've been so nice to me, and I don't like to see you go, and, oh, well, you know.
Yes, I know. Goodbye, Gloria. It's been fun being your father.
Thank you. It's been fun being your daughter. Goodbye, Daddy.
We pause for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Having concluded the second act of Mad About Music, starring Deanna Durbin and Herbert Marshall, we take a little intermission now before going into Act 3 and hear about another phase of Hollywood, about the education of motion picture children. Our guest is Mrs. Telephine Morrison. Mrs. Morrison has been a teacher of movie youngsters for about 10 years. Her pupils have included Judy Garland, Betty Janes, Benita Granville, Virginia Wilder, Jackie Cooper, Spanky, and Alfalfa of our gang fame, and tonight's star, Deanna Durbin. Mrs. Morrison is former Dean of Women at Dakota Wesleyan University, the Western State College in Colorado. She's done considerable lecturing and writing and is now with the Adult Education Division of the Los Angeles Public Schools. Mrs. Morrison, a lot of people have the idea that famous movie children lead anything but normal lives and that they don't go to school like other kids do. What have you to say about that?
We realize one thing, Mr. Houston, that a contract child can't go to public school and be in the movies at the same time. So we've found a way of combining both. In music work, in the movie work, the children get individual instruction directed at giving them a sound general education. And we think it's more important that we teach them to lead happy, normal lives. After all, that's what really counts.
But aren't there certain specific rules that must be followed to obey the law? Now, I've seen many directors call a halt on a scene and tell the children involved in the picture that it's time to go to school.
Yes. There are many different legal regulations concerning the education of movie children. For instance, every boy or girl under 18 who has not been graduated from high school must have at least 3 hours of study every school day and 1 hour of recreation. If the boy or girl is a high school graduate and is still under 18, the teacher becomes a welfare worker.
And what does welfare work consist of? Has it anything to do with the progress of the child in pictures?
Yes. In that, we see that he is not overworked, that he gets plenty of rest, that he isn't exposed to conditions that might impair his health, and in general, that he is well cared for. And let me add right here that every major picture studio, without exception, extends to the Board of Education the most complete and sincere cooperation. Every studio has its own school, and when a child is not in a picture, he attends this school and is taught by teachers who must have exactly the same qualifications as other public school teachers. When the child is working in a picture, then his books, his equipment, and teacher follow him just the same to the set or on location.
I often wonder how they do it. I have enough trouble memorizing my lines without going to school. I suppose that's why you went to New York with Miss Durbin on her recent visit there.
Exactly. And that trip gave Deanna a chance to see firsthand many of the things that she has studied. The geography of the country and the government of the country, too, because we went to Washington and saw Congress in session. And I might tell you that we brought Lux soap with us on the train and used it wherever we happened to be in the East, just as we do back home.
It certainly looks as if Miss Durbin is going to follow in the footsteps of the grown-up stars, doesn't it? But tell me, between us two now, just what kind of a student is Miss Durbin?
Between us two, Mr. Houston, she is as willing, as delightful, and as intelligent a pupil as a teacher could wish for. She is happy, and happy pupils learn best.
What's she studying these days?
United States history, civil government, English, music, and French. She's greatly interested in drama And in New York, she read quite a bit of Kenneth Roberts' book, The Northwest Passage. But I still think her favorite book is Bambi. Naturally, I'm pleased to see her making such fine progress with her lessons. But what pleases me most is to know that here is a girl at the top of a glamorous profession who has enough common sense to keep both feet squarely on the ground. Like any other girl, she's fond of clothes, but Diana prefers simple clothes. She doesn't attempt to act beyond her years. She's just a fine, wholesome young girl, and we never can have too many of her kind.
Thank you, Mrs.
Thank
Morrison.
you.
Deanna Durbin, Herbert Marshall, Gail Patrick, and William Fawley in Mad About Music. Gloria didn't meet Mr. Richard Todd at the station for an excellent reason. She had decided to meet him on the train. As the train gains momentum, Richard walks through the passageway and opens the door to his compartment.
What are you doing here?
Are you angry with me? I couldn't meet you outside because I was waiting in here and you didn't come and the train started to move and, well, here I am.
Gloria, is that the truth?
Why, no.
Well,
Oh, Mr. Todd, I found out my mother was in Paris and I just had to see her.
can't she come to Switzerland?
Oh, no, she can't come to Switzerland at all. Well, she just can't. That's why I had to come on the train. It's a matter of life and death.
It's always life and death, isn't it?
Oh, but this time it really is. You won't be coming back to see me anymore.
I might.
No, it'd be too dangerous. I think you're going to disappear at the North Pole. Get lost.
Really?
I'm sorry to do it, but it seems the best way. Of course, I'll miss you a lot.
Gloria,
Yes?
where does your mother live?
It's the Lafayette Hotel.
I live near there. If I give you my address, will you bring her over to see me?
Well, it's awfully nice of you, but...
Fine, I'll be expecting you.
One moment, please. Hello? Lafayette Hotel.
Where's that little girl who called me?
Here I am.
Oh, sure. There you are. Well, come over here, Gloria. I'm Dusty Turner.
Yes, I remember you, Mr. Turner. How do you do?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Well, that's fine. Come on now, sit down and tell me just how you got here.
I came on the train.
Well, how'd you get away from the school?
Oh, Well, it wasn't hard.
Well, I'm afraid that's bad business. Now, you should have told me about your plan.
Oh, I know, but... Well, I was so lonely, and then I saw that my mother...
When?
Yes, that Gwen was here, and I came. Oh, I just want to see her a minute to say hello and talk, and then I'll go right back.
Well, I don't know about that. Gee, but you've grown a lot.
I guess I have.
I should say so. How's the school?
Oh, please, I don't want to talk about me or the school. I want to see Mother... Gwen.
Yeah, I know you do. But that's not going to be as easy as you think.
You're not going to let me see her?
No, I'm not going to stop you. They are.
Who?
Those people out there in the lobby. Her fans. Why, they're waiting for her now.
Oh, I can wait until they go. I don't mind.
But that's not it. You see, she sort of belongs to them.
But I belong to her. She's my mother. Well, you know.
Sure, I know. It's tough on you and tough on Gwen. And me, too, for that matter. But you see, everything a big star does, everything about her, makes people talk. They guess and gossip and watch every move she makes, everything she does. So she's got to be different. Why, she's almost like a princess in a fairy tale.
I see. And a princess in a fairy tale can't have a daughter as big as I am, can she?
Oh, but next year, she's going to be with you all the time. And
Goodbye.
Isn't there anything you want, Gloria? Anything that I can do?
No, thank you. Goodbye.
I beg pardon, sir. You have a visitor.
Yes, who?
Your daughter, sir.
Gloria, how are you?
I'm sorry to bother you so much.
Bother, it's a very pleasant surprise. Did you find your mother all right?
Yes, I saw her.
Take off your hat and coat. You have a nice time?
Oh, yes, I had a very nice time, thank you.
I bet your mother was surprised to see you.
Why, yes. That is, at first she was. Is this the song you were playing just now?
Yes, that's it. How long is your
Would
mother
you
going...
mind if I sang this?
Right now?
I'd like to try it.
All right. What's wrong, Gloria?
Nothing.
Look up here. Remember, I'm your father. You picked me out yourself, you know.
Could you send me back to school? Tomorrow?
Send you back? Tomorrow? Does your mother know about this?
She gave me the money to go, but I lost my handbag.
Did you tell her you'd lost it?
I didn't think I ought to. She's very poor and...
Poor? And stopping at the Lafayette?
Oh, but she's poor in a very rich way.
Oh, the new poor. But you had a good time.
Yes, we had a lovely time.
Well, tell me all about it.
Well, I met her at the Lafayette. And she was so glad to see me that she hugged me till she almost took the breath out of me. Just because she was so glad to see me. And then she stood back and just looked at me. And then she started to cry. And I cried. Just because we were both so happy. It's funny how you cry when you're happy, isn't it? And then she laughed. She laughed, and I laughed, and everybody looked. She's so beautiful. And then we just talked. Because I had so much to tell her, and she had so much to tell me, and she told everybody else to go away, and we just stayed there alone together. And then...
Go on.
And then she had to go to a party, and I told her I better get back to school, and she said I was right and gave me the money, and then I lost it, and then I came here to ask you.
I'm glad you did. You can uncross your fingers now, Gloria.
What?
Uncross your fingers and tell me what happened this afternoon.
Oh, but I can't. I can't.
All right, then I'll have to find out for myself. Put your coat on, Gloria.
Why? What for?
We're going to take a walk, you and I, around the block to the Lafayette Hotel.
Oh, no, listen.
Where's my hat?
No, wait. Oh, please.
Hello, operator. I put a call in hours ago. To Switzerland. But she must be there. Well, let me speak to Miss Fusnut. Hello, Miss Fusnut? This is Gloria's mother. What? In Paris? Mr. Harkinson? Mr. Richard Todd? Oh, what? Oh, there's some mistake. I'll call you right back. Stay right there. Dusty! Dusty!
Hey, Gwen, that press gang is waiting for you.
Dusty, listen. Gloria's in Paris.
In Paris?
Yes, she's here. She left Switzerland last night with a man. He said he was her father. Call the police.
Oh, wait a minute. We're not going to call anybody now. Let's take this calmly.
How can you talk about taking things calmly? Gloria's in Paris. She's here.
I know she's here.
You know she's here.
Yeah, I saw her this afternoon, and she's all right.
Where is she?
She's on her way back to school.
What? You made her leave?
Certainly not. She didn't want to talk to you. She just wanted to see you.
She didn't want to talk to me?
No, now, don't take it that way. I told her what it would mean if it got out that you had a daughter her age, and...
You did that to that baby?
She wouldn't have been in this room 5 minutes before all Paris would have known it. Bell boys and maids would have been fighting to get to the phone first to tip off the newspaper.
You could have managed it. You managed everything else.
Well, what did you want me to do? Present her to the press?
Yes. Oh, the press. I forgot they were all over the hotel.
Now you're making sense. Come on in and meet them.
All right, Dusty.
What a trooper you are. Come on now, give him that big smile. And don't let him know that anything's wrong.
Come on now. Don't go back.
Wait a minute, boys. Wait a minute. Will you take it easy? Will you take it easy? One at a time. One at a time, please. Now, there she is. Ask her anything you like. Her life is an open book.
Are you going to do a picture in France?
Is it true you're buying a villa?
Are you going back to the stage? Wait just a minute, boys. I know you want news, and I'm going to give it to you.
Atta girl, Gwen.
I have a daughter, and she's 14 years old.
What?
And she's here in Paris tonight.
No, boys, listen to me. That's right. She's only a baby. She's only so big. She's 14 months, I swear. The small infant, this big hall. Quiet, everybody. Listen, will you? Now, look, boys, wait a minute. We're going to give you a formal statement in a half an hour.
Yes, meanwhile, I want you boys to find her. She's in Paris.
Where, Miss Taylor?
She's with a man named Richard Todd.
Well, what's her name?
Her name's Gloria. And
Richard
she has
Todd, the
blue eyes.
composer?
I don't know. Just find Richard Todd.
I'm Richard Todd.
Get a picture.
What have you done with my...
Something you should have done years ago. Come in, Gloria.
That's her daughter. She looks like her.
It's her, all right.
No, this is all a mistake. I never saw her before. It's really all a mistake. Mr. Todd is my father.
Gloria, my baby.
Oh, Mummy. Mummy, I didn't tell them.
No, dear. I know you didn't. I told them.
Oh, Mummy.
Mr. Todd, are you Miss Taylor's husband?
Certainly not.
Miss Taylor, are you his wife?
I am not.
Little girl, who is this man?
He's my daddy.
Gloria, dear, I don't think you... You better not tell them that now.
All right, but Daddy,
I want an explanation, and I want it right now, or I'll call the police.
No, Mummy.
Call them.
But wait, Daddy, Mummy.
There are a lot of things I'd like to tell you, Mrs. Harkinson.
No, you would. Well, all right, then, go on.
No, wait, listen, let me say something. Let me... Oh.
She's fainted.
Gloria.
Say, come on.
Gloria,
Gloria, look at me.
Gloria. Oh, my goodness.
Wait. It's all right.
What?
She has her fingers crossed.
Such a lovely party, Mr. Todd. And to have Gloria's father and mother both at once. But I still don't understand how you...
Oh, it's quite all right. I will explain later. Maybe.
Oh, yes, of course you will. I don't know how exactly.
Oh, we'll think of something.
But she's right, Richard. Gloria should have a father, you know.
Yes, they're quite customary. Well, I don't want to nominate myself, Gwen, but I've had a week of experience.
Oh, but we'd have to be married, wouldn't we?
Yes, that's part of the idea.
Richard, are your ideas always that good?
And the words that I sing come right from my heart. No violin, no strumming guitar, just a serenade, a happy
Well, that's the end of Mad About Music. Now, for a moment or two, we'll have a chance to hear from Miss Durbin, Mr. Herbert Marshall, Miss Gail Patrick, out of character.
You know, Mr. Houston, you've been so nice that I think maybe it would be a good idea if you broke down and called us by our first names. At least me. I don't feel like Miss Durbin to you. I feel like Deanna. And besides, don't forget we were both born in Canada.
Oh, yeah, then as one old neighbor to another, thank you, Deanna.
Ever since we made Mad About Music on the screen, Deanna, people have been asking me a lot of questions. They want to know what you're planning to do. If you're going to stay in Hollywood or if you're going to be an opera singer.
And here's your chance to answer them all at one time.
Do you mean what I'd like to do or what I'm going to do?
Well, since it's pretty hard to predict the future, what you would like to do.
I'd like to do three things. I'd like to sing in opera, and I'd like to keep on making pictures, and I'd like to be on the radio, as long as people want to hear me.
There's one tip I can give you, Deanna. If you want to keep that lovely complexion of yours as you grow up, just keep on using Lux soap.
I'll bet you use it, Miss Patrick.
If you mean that for a compliment, Deanna, thank you. I do use it. I think it's the best soap there is.
And so do I. It makes the nicest lather, and it smells nice, too. In fact, Lux soap is the favorite with my whole family.
Well, thanks, Deanna. And tell me, now that your picture's finished and our radio program is over, I suppose you'll be taking another vacation? Where are you going this time?
Right back to Universal City, Mr. Houston, to make another one. It's called That Certain Age. That's all I know about it.
Now, I wonder what certain age is that certain age.
I can answer that after a fashion. Deanna is going to have a beau.
I am?
You are? I was speaking to Mr. Rogers at Universal, and he says that what they'd like to do is to have you grow up in pictures just as you grow up in real life.
What kind of a beau does a girl have at 15, Miss Patrick?
Oh, well, you'd better ask your father about that. Mr. Marshall, please.
Walter, Deanna wants to know.
Yeah. Yeah, she has a beau, I guess, huh? Well, you know, Deanna, he carries your school books and picks flowers for you, and...
And after that, you'll have an older beau in your next picture. First love.
Well, if I can have you for a father and Miss Patrick for a mother, I guess whatever kind of a beau they give me will be perfectly all right. And now, Mr. Houston, thank you for a very nice time.
Good night, Deanna.
Good night. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Mr. Houston brings us important news about next week's program in just a moment. Our cast tonight featured Jackie Moran as Tommy Gray, Christian Rubb as Pierre, Helen Parrish as Felice, Marcia May Jones as Olga, Edgar Norton as Trips, Margaret Brayton as Miss Fusnot, Marie Hammond as Miss Louise, Joanne Ransom as Dorothy, Suzanne Ransom as Catherine, and Jerry Gale as Lizette. Mad About Music was made at New Universal Studios. The original story was written by Marcella Burke and Frederick Kohner, with music by Harold Adamson and Jimmy McHugh. Gail Patrick's new Paramount film is Dangerous to Know, and William Frawley's Professor Beware. Louis Silvers is from 20th Century Fox Studios, where he directed music for Four Men and a Prayer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder. As you know, many localities switch to daylight saving time next Sunday. If your community is one of those changing to daylight saving time, you will hear this program at the usual hour. If your community remains on standard time, tune in 1 hour earlier. And now, here's Walter Houston.
Next Monday night, the Lux Radio Theater presents Madeline Carroll and Don Amici in Dangerous, a great romance drama which many of you rank among your favorite motion pictures. Dangerous is the story of a girl, once a great actress, whose life suddenly becomes an endless series of bad breaks. She's a hard-luck girl, bringing misfortune to all who knew her. How this chain of adversity is broken, how love and happiness finally come to her, you'll learn next Monday night when Madeline Carroll and Don Amici enact this exciting drama on our stage. Our sponsors, the makers of Lux Toilet Soap, join me in inviting you to listen in a week from tonight when the Lux Radio Theater presents Madeline Carroll and Don Amici in Dangerous. And beginning next Monday night, Mr. Cecil B. DeMille will be back here as usual as your host and producer. This is Walter Houston thanking you all and bidding you good night.
This program, ladies and gentlemen, came to you with the good wishes of the makers of Lux Toilet Soap, the fine complexion care preferred by 9 out of 10 of Hollywood's famous actresses. So join us again next Monday night. Be part of the audience that gathers each week.
You are listening to Golden Age Radio, rumble.com/C/GAR, brought to you by G3PL.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is chair, C-H-A-I-R.
Oh, you can spell, too.
You bet your life. It's Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood and brought to you by the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers. The dealers who bring you America's most talked about new car, the distinguished 1953 DeSoto, and the exciting new Plymouth. See them both at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And now, here he is, the one, the only...
Well, drag him out here. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples.
Well, Groucho, our first couple, Miss Marge Riley and Mr. Arnold Lightus, were chosen from our studio audience just before we went on the air. And here they are. Folks, please come in and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Miss Marge Riley, eh? Where you from, Margie?
I'm from Okima, Oklahoma.
Where's that?
Okima, Oklahoma.
Okima. Well, where is Okima?
It's in Okfuskee County.
Oh, why didn't you say that? Huh? Where's Okfuskee County?
It's in Oklahoma.
It's near Okima, I suppose, huh? Now, what did you do in Okima?
I went to school and I lived on a farm.
You lived on a farm? Oh, really?
Yes,
Well, you don't look like a farmer. You haven't got a plow with you or a rake or anything? You didn't. What did you do on the farm, Marge?
Oh, I fed the chickens and fed the hogs and chopped wood and chopped cotton.
You chopped the hogs, did you say?
No, I fed the hogs.
Oh, don't they call it slop the hogs, huh?
I didn't. That was nice.
Well, what is the difference between slopping a hog and feeding a hog?
Well, there is a difference.
Well, what is the difference?
Our hogs were grain-fed.
And Arnold Lightus, is that your name?
Lightus.
Lightus. That's an odd name, Lightus. I knew your brother, Tonsil, very well. That's a Greek name, isn't it?
No, it's a Polish name. Originally it was spelled Lejtizouski.
How did you pronounce it then?
Lightisowski.
Oh. Now, how tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
Oh. I thought maybe you were a 10-foot pole. You know, they... No, they use them a lot of times. You know, when you meet a girl and you say, I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole, and I thought maybe this fellow was one of them. What sort of work do you do?
Well, I manage a cheese sales company. We sell cheese.
You sell it all alone by yourself?
No, actually, I work for my father-in-law. He's a cheese distributor.
Well, keep your opinions of your father-in-law to yourself. What do you do there?
Well, I'm the manager. I sort of keep the wheels in motion with regards to sales, promotions, and policies and that type of thing.
You sound pretty vague. What you actually mean is that you married the boss's daughter, huh?
That's right.
You know, I'm kind of at a loss with you, Mr. Arnold. The only cheese jokes I know are very old ones. And unlike cheese, they don't improve with age. I suppose you're familiar with the one about Swiss cheese, huh?
Which one is that?
Well, you know, Swiss cheese has all those holes in it because it needs the ventilation.
That's not true. Cheese doesn't smell.
Well, you go to your delicatessen, I'll go to mine. I don't object to you punching holes in your cheese, but don't punch holes in my jokes. Now, tell me, just what is cheese? I'd be interested in your definition, since you're an expert.
Well, cheese originally is milk.
If you want to start at the beginning, it's originally grass. What are some of the more popular cheeses you handle?
Well, there's cheddar cheese, Swiss cheese, Jack cheese.
Jack cheese, I know them very well. Huh?
Jack cheese.
Live right across the street.
Romano, Roquefort, blue cheese, provolone.
What is blue cheese? Is that a cheese that's despondent? Now, do you serve cheese at home?
Oh, we serve cheese at home all the time. We have it. We can have it for every meal.
You can.
We can. It's an illustration. We use grated cheese on eggs, or we use cheddar cheese for a cheese omelet. In fact, a friend of mine puts a square of Liederkranz on his hotcakes every Sunday morning, which is a rather unusual thing. And you can use cheese for lunch in a salad, blue cheese or grated cheese, or with sandwiches, Swiss cheese. For dessert, bel pieds, port de salute, with crackers or fruit and coffee, and then.
Well, how much do I owe you so far? One of the finest meals I've ever had, huh? I want to meet this fellow that puts cheese on hotcakes. Well, I know you're anxious to win some money here tonight, so in just 1 minute you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,000 question. Right now, there's something I want you to hear concerning the distinguished 1953 DeSoto. Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. Out of our list of 20 categories, you selected number 19, common words containing men's names. Now, here's your first question. How much will you bet? And talk real loud.
What do you think?
Well, let's hold back a penny.
Okay.
$19.99.
All right, $19.99. What is the word containing a man's name that means a sore or pulled muscle?
Charlie Horse?
Charlie Horse is right. I knew Charlie Horse very well. He was a blood brother of Jack Cheese. They used to go around together.
You now have $39.99.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of this sum will you bet on this one?
All but a penny.
All but a penny.
All but a penny. What do you call the British military flag? It contains a man's name.
The Jack. Flying Jack, isn't it? Union Jack.
Union Jack Cheese. I know him very well.
You now have $79.97.
That's the other brother, Union Jack Cheese. Now, how much are you going to bet?
All of it.
All of it. What do you call a man who makes his living cutting down trees for commercial use?
Lumberjack.
Lumberjack is right. That's Lumberjack Cheese. That's another brother. You've whole family of these Jacks, huh?
You've now climbed to $159.94.
All right, and here's your last chance to be the other couples. How much are you going to bet?
All of it.
What do you call the man whose business it is to climb high buildings to make repairs?
Steeplejack.
Steeplejack is right. Put it there, kid.
And you wind up with $319.88.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Groucho, we invited some college girls to the program tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Isabel Stewart. Her partner, Mr. John Marder, has an interesting hobby. So, folks, come on in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $1,000. $100. And divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Isabel Stewart, you're the college girl, eh? Yes. How old are you, Isabel?
21.
21. Are you married?
No, sir.
Why not?
Well, I'd like to get an education.
You get an education, you won't want to get married. What do you want an education for? Do you want to be smarter than your husband?
No, I kind of like my husband to be smarter than I am.
Well, it takes a very smart wife to make her husband think he's smarter than she is. That's a little philosophy, you see. We throw that in. We don't charge anything for that.
Good.
It's of no value, but it's a gratuitous piece of philosophy here and there. It's very helpful at times. Mr. John Marder, huh?
That's right, sir.
You don't look like a martyr. That's you, isn't it?
That's right, sir.
Sir? Who are you talking to? I thought he was addressing you. Oh, that's me?
That's you.
Well, that's more like it. Thank you very much. I deserve a little respect around here. Make a note of this, Fanaman, will you? There's that bounder, huh? Where are you from, Sir John? John, sir?
I'm from England.
From very old England, eh? What part of England?
Nottingham.
Nottingham? We say Nottingham.
Nottingham?
We say Nottingham, yes. That is if you work in a packing plant. What college do you attend, Isabel? That's a very pretty name, Isabel.
Thank you very much. I go to J.W. Pierce Junior College.
Oh.
C.W.
I thought that was
Pardon me.
Are you sure you're not in kindergarten? You go to J.C.W. Pierce, kindergarten. Now, where is that?
That is in Canoga Park.
Oh, I didn't know there was a college in Canoga Park. Oh. What are you taking in college?
I'm majoring in beef production.
In beef production?
Yes, sir.
You mean you coach the football team? Or is this a cow college?
No, it's an agricultural college.
Oh, I didn't know we had one of those around here. What all do they teach at this place?
Well, they have liberal arts and floriculture and swine husbandry, sheep husbandry.
Swine husbandry? You mean you have to go to college to know that all husbands are swine? You have a football team there?
Not this year.
I guess that's logical. You wouldn't want to spend all week feeding the pigs and then on Saturday get out and kick them around. I'm curious, Isabel. Why should an attractive young girl like you go into beef production? Does somebody give you a bum stare at some time?
No, I've always just loved animals, and I saw my opportunity to go to Pierce, and I just went to Pierce, and I love it.
Do you have a song there, a college song, like Cow Cow Boogie or something? You sing Swine, Women, and Song? Now, tell me, Mr. Marta, Mr. Fenneman says you have we're very polite around here, aren't we? Everything is prefaced with Mr. Tell me, John, Fenneman says you have an interesting hobby. Just what is your hobby?
I'm president of the Southern California Cricket Association.
Oh, really? I've got 3 crickets at my house. They've been keeping me awake for years. Tell us something about cricket. What is it like?
Well, to the Englishman or people born in England, it's pretty much the same as baseball is to an American.
That's ridiculous. What fun is there in beating an umpire with a tea bag? Or do you just throw the puck? Cricket is a pretty old game, isn't it?
That's right. It's been played in England since the 13th century.
Well, Satchel Paige has been playing baseball since the 12th century. Do you have any famous players like Babe Ruth? You know, he hit 60 home runs in one season.
Yes, we have. We have one young man that scored 628 runs in one inning.
Oh, a pitcher's battle, eh? Now, how could a man possibly score 628 runs in one inning?
Well,
riddle me that.
First of all, Groucho, he on each hit, on a long hit over the fence, there's 6 runs in cricket.
Why do you get 6 runs if you hit the ball over the fence?
That's the game.
Oh.
6 runs over the fence.
Who's responsible for these rules?
Well, the Marylebone Cricket Club in London.
Oh. How long does the average cricket game last?
Well, a first-class game in England takes 3 days.
Mm-hmm. Isabel, would you like to attend a cricket game with me sometime?
No, thank you, sir.
Why not? I think you'd get a kick out of it.
They last a little too long.
Well, don't let that bother you. You see, what I had in mind wasn't exactly cricket. Well, enough of this chatter. Let's see if you can win some real money here tonight. You're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,000. Beat our other couples. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
Miss Riley and Mr. Lightus won $319.88, and the secret word is chair.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can bid you $20. You selected Name the City. These are all cities of the United States. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
You're the boss as well. 15. Okay.
$15. If you wanted to ring the Liberty Bell in Independence Hall, what city would you visit?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia is right.
You now have $35.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $35 will you bet on this question?
$30.
Is that all right with you, Mr. Bull?
That's fine.
If you wanted to sip a little tea in the famous Back Bay region, what city would you visit?
Boston.
Boston is right.
You've now climbed to $65.
How much of the $65 you going to bet?
64.
Ooh. How about 60?
All right.
$60.
Isabel, you're looking at him as though he were a cow, huh? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Shall we proceed? If you decided to check on some exhibits at the Smithsonian Institute, what city would you visit?
Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C.
You now have $125.
And it's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
The works.
Oh, okay, the works.
The works? If you wanted to stroll along Michigan Avenue or Lakeshore Drive, what city would you visit?
Chicago.
Chicago!
And you'll wind up with $250.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Thank you.
Look at that, honey.
We have some new parents for you now, Groucho. Mr. and Mrs. Arthur E. Bishop. And here they are. Folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, youngsters, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. You'll divide $100 if you get the secret word. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Mr. and Mrs. Arthur Bishop, eh? Oh, a sailor, eh? Glad to have you aboard, matey. Mrs. Bishop, what is your first name?
My name's Mary.
Mary. Well, how old are you, Mary?
I'm 19.
And Arthur, what is your age?
21.
21. What a shameful waste, huh? The time to be 19 or 21 is when you're my age. Then you can really appreciate it. Huh? What do you do in the Navy, Art?
Well, I was just promoted from a fireman to Engineman 3rd.
What's a fireman doing in the Navy? Did the Admiral tell you to go to blazes? Now, how did you happen to meet this lovely and attractive girl?
Well, she moved in down the block for me, and...
And you moved in right away, huh?
I already lived there.
Oh, you lucky fellow, huh?
Well, she was sitting on the front lawn with her girlfriend, or her cousin, and I knew the friend next door to her, and I was talking to him, and I said, boy, she sure is cute. I would sure like to get to know her. And,
Mary, while the sea wolf was leering at you and trying to figure some sly way to meet you, what were you doing?
Well, I was trying to figure out a way to meet him.
Two minds with but a single thought. Disaster. Well, tell me, sailor, what finally happened? Did you finally wangle an introduction?
Yes, I sure did.
Well, tell us about this breathless moment, Mary. What happened?
Well,
when Casanova finally met you.
He came up onto the lawn and he said, "Hello, glad to meet you." Then he got in his car and drove home.
Well, he probably figured he couldn't top that line, huh? There's no use toying with perfection. Once you etch out something as classic as that, right along with it, huh? What was your reaction to this passionate courtship, Mary? What did you think of Admiral Farragut by this time?
Well, I thought he was terribly nice, but awfully shy.
Maybe he was just sleepy, you know. What made you think he was shy?
Well, he didn't ask me for a date until 2 years later.
Well, I'd say he was pretty shy, all right. Maybe he was just shy of funds. Where did you go on the first date?
We went to a drive-in movie.
Well, that explains it. He wasn't shy. He was just waiting for a double feature, that's all. What happened after that first date with Mary?
Joined the Navy.
Apparently there's something about this girl that makes you want to hit the road. What happened next, Dodge? You joined the Navy, then what?
Well, I went through 9 weeks boots, and then I went aboard the USS Toledo and spent 9 months in Korea in the battle zone, and then we returned to the States, and then that's when I put in for special leave to go home to get married.
How long have you been married, Mary?
1 year tomorrow.
Tomorrow, your first anniversary. Well, congratulations. Married a whole year. In these times, that's practically a golden wedding. Well, Fenneman says you're new parents. What is it, a boy or a girl?
We have 3 baby girls.
You have triplets? Well, shiver my scuttlebutt. Well, what do you know? Mary, you're lucky he's the shy type. Otherwise, you might have had a Boy Scout troop by this time. What did you name them, Art?
Paula, Pauline, and Paulette.
Why didn't you call him John Paul Jones?
Well, I might as well have. She names them Sally, Susie, and Sandy.
Well, you each have your own set of names, huh? Isn't this confusing to the children?
Well, they can understand.
Do they look alike, Mary?
Yes, they're identical. I can't even tell them apart.
How about you?
Yes, I can tell them apart.
How?
They have beads with their names on them.
I may pipe you overboard before we do it. How are you making out in the Navy? 3 extra mouths to feed?
Well, it's pretty rough to make ends meet right now. I would like to get out and get a job. I've had a lot of experience in diesel engines and gasoline engines. Worked with them most of my life. And I'd like to get wound up in something like that.
Well, perhaps some to certainly get things done. Not only that, but you certainly know how to triple production. I really hope that all 5 of you are very happy together. Now it's time to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at a lot of money. You run your $20, and more than our other couples, you'll get a chance at the $1,000 question. Can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
Our first couple is still ahead with $319.88.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can bill you $20. You selected songs by Nancy O'Hay Brown as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
$19.95.
$19.95. Give me the name of this song. Okay. Your nose smoothie is right.
And you're on your way. You have $39.95.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, how much of this $39.95 are you going to bet this time?
$39.94.
$39.94. Play it, Jerry. If you don't know, take a stab at it.
I think it's in When I Hold Your Hand.
No, I wish it was, kids, but unfortunately it's Paradise.
Gee.
It's a shame.
Well, they now have 1 cent, Groucho.
Here's your third question. How much of this 1 cent would you bet?
All of it.
All of it. Play this one, Jerry.
Temptation.
Temptation. Okay, now you got 2 cents. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. You're going to bet the 2 cents, I presume. All right, play the song, Jerry. Singing in the Rain is right.
Well,
I missed that easy question.
they wind up with 4 cents.
You folks didn't win, so obviously we can't give you any more money. However, we'd like to give you triplets, $50 apiece. That makes a total of $150 for them. Even if you didn't know the answer was Paradise, you kids are in Paradise, and you're very lucky.
Groucho, this couple wound up with their 4 cents, which means that our first couple, Miss Riley and Mr. Lightus, with $319.88. In just 1 minute, get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question.
Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Right now, here's something of importance about the beautiful 1953 DeSoto.
Well, here's Miss Riley and Mr. Lightus, the winning couple, all ready for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question. Groucho, come on in, folks.
Well, this is the 10-foot pole and the old hog slopper. Here we go for $1,000. I give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. Are you ready? In 1814, a new set of lyrics and a new title were given to a song called Anacreon in Heaven. Anacreon in Heaven. For $1,000, what is the name of this song today? Talk it over. What is the answer you two have decided upon?
Star Spangled Banner.
Star Spangled Banner. Well, congratulations from the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. You bet your life.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember that the dealers who sell the distinguished 1953 DeSoto also sell the brilliant new Plymouth, the first truly balanced car in the low-priced field. DeSoto, Plymouth, two great new cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see the 1953 DeSoto.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Courtesy and good judgment are two keys to highway safety. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
You are listening to Golden Age Radio, rumble.com/C/GAR, brought to you by G3PL.com.
Does your cigarette taste different lately?
Not if you smoke Rollies. They're blended with fully aged pre-war tobaccos.
The Rollie cigarette program from Hollywood, starring Red Skelton, with Ozzie Nelson, his orchestra, Harriet Hilliard, Bea Benaderet, Dick Ryan, Ferdinand Munier, and yours truly, Frank Nelson.
And now, Raleigh's own historical review. Scene: a sun-scorched veldt, deep in the heart of darkest Africa. A lone white man with steps slow and uncertain makes his way to a rude native hut, partly hidden by jungle fringe. Quietly, he addresses the bearded figure frowning at him from the doorway. Dr. Livingston, I presume? A tense-second silence, then the reply, yes. And say,
does your cigarette taste different lately?
Well, perhaps the taste change in cigarettes didn't actually furnish a topic for conversation there in Africa, but you certainly do hear smokers grousing about it today. But not Raleigh smokers. No, indeed. There's no wartime loss of taste or quality in Raleighs because Raleighs are still blended with choice field-ripened tobaccos. Now, fully cured, brought to the very peak of their ripe, mellow best, those lighter, brighter tobaccos bring you a genuine pre-war pleasure smoke. Without harsh irritants, without loss of taste.
And now we bring you MGM's popular comedian and the star of our Raleigh cigarette show, Red Skelton.
Just like they do for Hope, you know. Thank you and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, Frank?
Hello, Red. I'm fine. Say, I see where tire inspecting ends April 20th.
That's right. April the 21st, they start inspecting rims then.
Say, what are you looking so happy about?
Well, a funny thing happened to me. I got my laundry back this week. That's pretty quick. I only sent it out last July, you know. Well, anyhow, instead of sending me the pajamas, they just sent me 2 pajama coats. Did you ever try getting your legs through the sleeve of a pajama coat?
Well, not lately, Red. I still can't see why you're so happy about it. You must look pretty silly with pajama coats on both ends.
Yeah, but I keep thinking about the guy that got the other pants. Say, who do we have with us tonight that plays an important part in our American way of living? Huh?
Well, tonight we have a man with an unusual occupation, a candy dipper.
A candy
Red,
dipper.
Meet Mr. Delphin.
Well... Well, how are you, Mr. Delford? I've heard of professional onion peelers and olive stuffers, but what's a candy dipper? Somebody that takes a plunge in the candy business hoping to make a mint?
No, Red. It's a person who dips candy in chocolate syrup.
Don't wait. Just keep right on going. They do what?
They dip candy in chocolate syrup.
Really? I thought those kids that were licking your hands at rehearsal were doing it just because you were a kind-hearted man, you know. Tell me, do you have any troubles making candy?
Well, candy dipping is an art, and it's interesting, too. We're always making different candies for the seasons of the year. Christmas and Valentine's Day, and at Easter, the bunnies had to go to work on chocolate eggs.
Yeah, we're not doing bad here tonight ourselves, are we? Hey, I remember one Easter I put a big chocolate egg into my Paul Parrot's cage. He was asleep at the time. When he woke up, he says, "Boy, somebody put in a hard day, didn't they?" Is there anything unusual? That was the writer applauding for that. Are there anything unusual about your candies?
Well, our kitchen has done something to help people find hard centers. On each chocolate is a design. We use a H for hard centers and an S for soft centers.
Say, that's wonderful. There's nothing so aggravating as a box half full of eaten chocolates, you know. You ever see people say, "Oh, candy." They don't want that one. Say, just point it out to me. I'll read it here. You know, I used to help decorate colored eggs myself.
You mean you squeezed out the icing to decorate?
No, I was the chef's eraser. See, every time he made a mistake, I licked up the icing. I knew a man who loved his work making candy so much that every time he sneezed, he'd go, "Hershey!" Say, what's it like in a candy kitchen?
Well, everything is snow white, and our hair is completely covered with a close-fitting hat. And each piece of candy has a personal attendant as it goes down the assembly line.
You mean, you learn something every day. It really goes down a lump of sugar and then it comes out a piece of candy. Huh?
That's right.
You learn something new every day, don't you? An assembly line for candy. I can just see it in production. A man runs up with a chart and he says, "Here's the plans for the revision." The man stutters, of course. Guy comes in, he says, "Here are the revised plans for the new combination 4-motored bonbon." Then you quickly start the furnaces and you whip up a batch of chocolate syrup. Then a man on the scale measured off a roll of almonds. And then the Tutti Frutti girl stands by with a magnifying glass to see that you don't get more tutti than fruity. Then it starts down the assembly line. The almond is placed inside the Tutti Frutti. A couple of cherries are riveted on. And then the inspector fires the girl.
What for?
The nut was loose. Then it's handed to you, and you personally dunk it into the chocolate syrup. Then it goes into the freezing room where a woman carefully packs it into a small wax cup. All this work just so somebody can squeeze it to see if it's got a hard center. Say, are you ever tempted to eat candy now and then?
When you first start doing the work, yes.
Really? You know, I used to be a candy salesman.
How interesting.
Yeah, I used to walk in and say, "Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's always customary for a show of this kind to have a confection or a chewing candy." Now there's a price in each and every pack.
Now I remember. I first saw you in the center aisle of the Burbank Theater.
No. No, I was in the balcony. Rags Raglan was in the center aisle. Well, thanks for dropping in, and if you ever have an extra box of chocolates, look me up, will you?
Hear the music whisper, echoes of romance.
Cuddle on my shoulder.
Hold me while we dance.
It's a moment tender.
Now the spell is cast. Maybe you'll surrender, but you move too fast. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't you know it's more romantic when a dance is slow? Take it easy, take it easy. What's the good of feeling high when all the lights are low? Take it easy, take it easy. We've got lots of time ahead of us, the night is young. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't you know this music should be swayed instead of swung? Take your time, easy and slow. That's what they tell you down in old Mexico. Take it easy, and take it easy. Don't you know it's more romantic when the dance is slow? Take it easy, take it easy. What's the good of feeling high when all the lights are low? Take it easy, take it easy.
You sound very unconvincing as a gigolo.
Take it easy, take it easy.
Boy, that accent really sends me. It's from Kokomo.
Take your time, dance it with ease. Take your time, slow if you please. And now let us look in at the El Puncarino Ballroom, where they're really slicing up the rubs. Here they go.
Take it easy, bud, take it easy.
Come on, get shagging, Maggie. What you got to lose?
Take it easy, Butch, take it easy.
Okay.
You're murdering me corns with them GI shoes. Take it easy.
Come on.
Take it easy.
Are you kidding?
You bought a ticket for a dance and not a wrestling bout. Take it easy. Chum, take it easy.
Okay, Toots.
I am firmly convinced I should have sat this one out. Take your time, easy, my friend. Stop swinging your feet.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the end.
Yeah.
Does your cigarette taste different lately?
Not if you smoke Raleighs. They're blended with fully aged pre-war tobaccos. So remember, if your cigarette tastes different these days, smoke Raleighs for perfect taste.
Now, if we just had Archie here, we could liven up this joint alone. Now we come to our satire on our American way of living, and it's about candy. A guy with a girl and no money is really in trouble, so let's look in on Clem, the fella from the country.
What a beautiful morning. Oh, spring is here. I'm out to get a girl, boy. All I gotta do is take off my hat, let the girl see my hair, and then, boy, they start calling me pet names. Anybody know what a St. Bernard is? There's my old friend, Slim Pickens, over there in his car. There's really a dude. Like the way he wears his mustache. I wonder how he gets it to curl around his ears that way.
Howdy, Mr. Griddlehopper.
Howdy doody to you. What's new, huh?
Well, I see where they're making a picture based on One World, that book that Mr. Wilkie wrote.
Bet nobody up in Wisconsin goes to see it. You ain't seen Daisy June, have you?
Well, yeah, she was just by here looking for you.
Really?
Boy, she sure is skinny, ain't she?
Yep, she's the only girl I know whose shadow outweighs her by 20 pounds.
You know, she ought to eat some candy and put on some weight.
Really?
Her face is too thin and pale.
Well, she can't help that. She's been drying her face in a clothes wringer, you know. Sure wish I knew where she was.
Oh, she'll be back. She heard you had some money.
All I got's a nickel, and I owe 3 cents of that. Hey, I got a date with DJ, too.
Well, just wait till she finds out you're broke. You're going to be a pretty sad goon.
Oh, I ain't worried. I can get a girl. Don't worry. I ain't half bad. I'm all bad. Hey, here comes a girl. What's her? They like them football types, you know.
Football types?
Yes, sir, boy. Now, don't tell me my head don't look like a football. Watch me. I'll go to work there. Hello, chicken. Going home to roost?
Why, Clem!
Why, did you? What, past that line of dress shops? No, sir, not me.
I won't buy anything. I just want a window shop.
You mean look in windows? Don't be silly. People don't go to bed this time of the day.
I heard you got some money, Clem. Come on, let's walk.
Yeah, okay. I'm anxious to find out how this turns out myself, you know. Hey, oh, there's the candy store. Let's cross to the other side of the street, will you?
Why, not in the middle of the block. It's dangerous.
Really?
I knew a man who crossed in the middle of the block, and 2 months later he had the mumps.
Okay.
Let's walk to the corner.
Well, truthfully, I don't see the connection myself.
Come on, Clem, let's walk.
No, I don't like to walk too much. Waste my shoe leather, you know.
You ain't wearing shoes.
I ain't? Well, no wonder it hurt so bad this morning when I had them half-soled. Come on, let's go back to the corner and cut across.
What's eating you, Clem? You'd think something was going to get you.
Okay, let's walk fast now. I'm in a hurry. I got to get home, put my arm to bed.
Why?
It's going to sleep. It's too fast for her. She didn't get it.
Clem, look. Stop pulling me.
Well, now I hope you're satisfied tearing my ear like that.
Well, I only want to look in this window.
Oh, look, candies. Hey, don't that smell good?
Yes, it does.
You want to stand over here? You can smell it better. Hey, would you like some?
Yes, I would.
I'm afraid of that.
Good morning.
And to you, howdy doody.
Well, don't stand there, Clem. This ain't a waiting room.
Yeah.
Give me a box of bonbons.
Here you are.
Well, now, just a minute. I was here first. I was in here before he was.
It only took me a second to wait on
That
you.
ain't the idea. Well, I've never been so insulted in all my life. I'll take my business elsewhere.
Oh, Clem, don't be so silly.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to the dime store.
I'm sorry, but I was in a hurry.
Hurry. The candy won't melt, you know. Do I look like the type of guy who'll buy all of it?
Well, truthfully, no. If the lady gets any candy, I imagine she'll have to buy it.
Well, now that does it. That does it. I'll teach you to be rude,
All
brother.
right, Clem, now that's enough.
I'll take care of this guy. I'll hammer him to my size and then beat him to a pulp.
Clem, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, picking on a midget.
Well, he's a king-size midget, though. I'm sorry, Shorty. Come on, I'll show you.
Where are you going, Clem?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you went out, too.
All right, what are you going to buy?
How much that little box of candy in the window?
$5.
No, the little one.
$5.
$5. Is there anything left over from St. Patrick's Day? Something that ain't too spoiled to eat yet, just spoiled enough to throw away. You know?
Oh, Clem, don't be a tightwad.
Say, there's something that looks nice.
Sorry, we're all out of them.
You mean them boxes I'm looking at ain't there?
They're empty boxes.
Well, give me one of them. How much are they?
Say, that box in the window sure does look good. And I could use the box to keep my sewing in.
Look, folks, I'm rather busy.
Well, make up your mind, Clem.
You like mixed candy?
Yes, I do.
Give me 2 penny gumdrops. Let her mix her up herself, huh? Men are famous for using candy to square themselves with a little woman. So let's look in on Willie Lump Lump, the king of the night owls. Hey, move over, you bum! Move over! You road hog, you!
Hey, what's going on here?
Don't yell at me, officer. I'll come down to the police station and take my picture off the bulletin board.
Oh, it's you, Willie.
Yeah.
Now, what are you making all this noise
Oh, that
for?
dope in a big truck blocking the street there. I can't get past him.
Now, look, Willie, this isn't a street. It's a dead-end alley. And that's not a truck. It's a building.
If you hadn't have got here, we might have had a pretty serious collision.
Come on, get out of that car.
Am I in a car?
Sure, what do you think?
I don't know. I thought them pedestrians were coming pretty fast at me.
You better get yourself home, Willie. Just leave your car right here. I'll walk to the door with you.
I'll bet you will.
Look, why don't you go see a psychiatrist?
Why, my vertebrae ain't out of place.
Don't the staying out late bother you?
No, it bothers the neighbors more than it does me, you know.
I still don't see why you don't spend more time at home.
Have you ever seen my wife? She looks like something that went to a funeral and forgot to bury. You know?
Why, she's a sweet, kind woman who thinks the world of you.
I'm talking about my wife. Who are you talking about? I got her a present. Would you like to see it?
Good heavens, man. Put that away. You shouldn't flash stuff like that around.
Yeah,
well, you're allowed to get hit on the head.
Yeah, well, you're a nice guy. Here, you can have it. Go ahead.
But that ain't money or diamonds. That's an O. Henry bar.
There's a cellophane wrapper, too.
No kidding. Where'd you get it?
A soldier. I gave him my wristwatch for it. He says in their PX they got all kinds of candy. Of course, I think he's been in that desert heat a little too long.
I don't know. I hear they have plenty of butter and meat.
Yeah, I saw 2 mess sergeants paying their way into the Palladium with a pork chop, you know.
Yeah? Well, Willie, here you are.
Well, I gotta go now. I'll brace myself to meet my ever-loving wife, see her beaming face, her beaming smile. She's a little off the beam tonight.
Come in, Willie.
You ain't gonna throw me out again, are you?
What's the matter, scared? I thought you said you didn't know the meaning of the word fear.
Well, I looked it up. Now, take it easy, will you?
Willie, I can't stand it any longer. You'll have to find a place for my mother to live so I can go home to her.
Well, why can't she go home to her mother?
Because her mother's gone home to her mother.
I'll stop if you will.
You don't appreciate me.
Yes,
I scrub for you and slave over a hot stove for you, and what do I get?
Oh, probably 1 million letters tomorrow from people asking you to be their maid, you know.
You don't appreciate me. I'm dirt under your feet.
Oh, I wouldn't.
I'm just your slave. I'm just avoiding a girl that can't.
Oh, shut up!
That's right, yell at me. And after all I've done for you, after all I've gone through for you, after I've given you the best years of my life. Well, say something.
Were those your best years?
Why, you...
Now, don't start yelling here. I brought you a present.
Oh, Willie, you shouldn't have. What is it?
I heard you say you like chocolate things.
Yeah.
I brought you a box to keep them in.
Oh, you shouldn't.
Oh, it's all right. I want it on a punch board.
Why, you cheat.
Put me down, where?
I'll put you down. I'll throw you out of the window on your head.
Oh, no, you won't.
Oh, yes, I will.
Oh, no, you won't. You won't throw anybody out on their head. Now, you see, wise guy, it didn't land on my head, did I?
Smokers, does your cigarette have taste jitters up in the harsh, hot zone one pack, down in the flat, flavorless field the next? Not if you smoke Rawleys, and here's why. There's no wartime loss in the taste or quality of Rawleys for the good reason that Rawleys are still blended with choice, fully aged tobaccos. Now, at their mellow, flavorful best, those lighter, brighter tobaccos assure you a genuine pre-war pleasure smoke with every puff. Smooth as always, mild as always. Better Rawleys stay factory fresh longer, too. They're doubly protected by the best moisture-retaining agent known, and flavor-sealed in Rawleys exclusive inner wrapper. A pack of Rawleys means a pleasure-perfect smoke. A carton means extra economy and convenience. For the best in smoking, get Better Rawleys, the cigarette of fully aged, fully mellowed tobaccos.
children like candy and things that are sweet. So, Harriet, you be my mother, and I'll be the mean one who cares. The sugar bowl, I gonna get it, I gonna get it. Oh, brother, now I really gonna get it.
Junior, what happened?
You know that big meat platter?
Yes?
I just made a hamburger out of it.
Junior, what are you doing in that cupboard? Are you in my sugar bowl again?
No, not all of me. Just me face.
Junior, how many times have I told you? You can't eat plain sugar.
Well, could I have a widow if I put ketchup on it?
Now, you listen to me. If I catch you swiping sugar...
I didn't swipe, honey. So help me. Cross me fingers there and swipe, honey. You know, I just smooth out the top of it, you know. Some stick on my hand, I lick it off.
Listen, if you want something sweet, ask for some candy.
Okay, can I have some candy?
No.
Yeah. I don't see your point, truthfully. Hey, Mummy, you always promised to give me a dime for candy, but I never see it, you know.
When did I promise you a dime?
Last night when you were talking in your sleep.
Well, I must have been delirious.
Well, tonight I'm going to take a checkbook to bed with me, but...
Junior, have you been a good boy today?
Yes, I have. Of course, today's still young, you know. What's cooking in your widow head, kiddo?
Well, your father's home.
Oh, so that's what you was dragging upstairs last night.
Junior, you didn't hear anything.
Yes, I did. Of course, I didn't know it was me pop. It sounded like he was dragging a bobsled with rubber boots tied on it.
Well, let's not discuss your father anymore.
It is kind of disgusting, ain't it?
When he wakes up, I'll have him give you a nickel for some jelly beans.
Jelly beans? You mean them little red and green candy? Licorice and gumdrop?
Yes.
With a hard and soft inner?
Yes.
Don't like them.
Young man, you're getting just a little too fresh.
Well, you gotta admit, I'm a pretty clever kid, though. Only this morning I made a few new improvements on my secret weapon I'm building with my chemistry set, you know.
What did you do?
Well, next time Pop turns on the radio, the whole front room's gonna move out on it.
Oh, Junior, you're kidding.
You just keep laughing, that's all.
Before I forget it, who nailed your father's shoes to the floor?
Oh, well, now, that didn't hurt nobody but Pop, you know. Even you laugh at that, you know.
Does he had an awful time trying to stand up?
Yeah, he looked like a totem pole in the wind, didn't he?
Come on, jump down off that cupboard. I'll catch you.
Okay.
Wait till I turn around.
No.
Well, don't lay there. Get up so I can see if you scratch the floor.
I can't get up. I got a Charlie pony.
You mean you got a Charlie horse?
No, this is just a widow cramp, you know. Hey, can I ride my tricycle outside if I promise to get it back in time for Pop to ride to work?
Well, all right, but don't ride down that steep hill. You might crash into a wall, and tricycles are hard to get nowadays.
Yes, or somebody at the door,
Junior, peek through the window first. It may be a bill collector.
Oh, it's that last of the big parade from next door there.
Junior, will you stop referring to Mr. Mounier as being fat?
All right, then. He's not fat. He's just badly swollen, you know. When he gets here, I'm going to ride my tricycle around him just once, you know. That'll take about an hour, you know.
Junior, well, open the door.
No, he only wants me to run an errand for him, you know.
Junior, he's been very good to you.
No.
Gives you a nickel every other day for candy.
Yeah, and then he looks in the bag and says, let's see what you bought, kiddo. And then them big lunch hooks wrapped around it.
Oh, tell him not to eat it.
No, and then I wouldn't even give me a nickel for the candy, you know. You know, someday I'm going to get $10 and get a jawbreaker.
Jawbreakers are a penny.
Not the kind I mean. These are brass and you wear them on your knuckles.
Junior, will you open the door for him?
Okay.
Well, Junior, hello.
You big fat Where you been? Down at the service station getting your tummy pumped up, huh?
Oh, no, just getting a little sun and air.
Yeah, brother, yes, you need it, do you? Big old... Hey, put your hat on, will you? That sun shining on your bald head and the lights glaring in my eyes.
Junior, you shouldn't say things like that about Baldy.
Well, perhaps I am a trifle bald.
A trifle, he says. You better get a toupee, you know. That's mighty slippery landing field for them poor little flies.
Junior, would you like to hop on your tricycle and ride down and get me the evening papers?
How much again it for me?
To pay you to do something would be like teaching you bribery. You wouldn't accept bribes, would you, Junior?
He talks like a new man around here.
Okay, I'll give you a nice new nickel.
I'd rather have a nice old quarter if you got it.
You'll go for nothing.
No. I think it would be worth earning a nickel. Here's the money for the paper and a nickel for some candy.
You chiseler, you're going to hear it. Okay, I will go.
Hey, did you wash that door on the window on that door there, or is it open, huh? He washed it. Now, I'm not going to make this trip for nothing. I'm going to fix him. I'm going to put this money down for the paper, and then I'm going to go back home and fix that guy but good. I'm going to chop up a little bar of soap in little squares and let him eat that for a change. Boy, that'll stop him. Fix that guy but good. Now, there's the soap up on the sink. I'm going to teach him to let me earn money and then eat all me candy. Now, there's a knife there. Oh, boy, it looks just like fudge, don't it? I forever blowing bubbles. Now, put it in this old candy sack I've been licking the sides of. There, now, it's all fixed. Oh, boy, that's going to teach him that well.
Oh, Junior, back already?
Yeah, here's your paper, and look, a sack of fudge. Look.
Ah, my favorite candy.
Oh, boy, I can't wait till he eats that.
Junior, what's so funny? What have you been up to?
Oh, he pulled that old list, see what's in the bag stuff, and I filled it with little soap squares.
Oh, good heavens, he isn't eating it, is he?
Huh?
He isn't
Wait, I'll
eating
see.
it, is he?
Well, if he ain't, we better shoot him, because he's foaming at the mouth.
And remember, we'll all be with you next Tuesday at the same time. Red Skelton, Ozzie Nelson, Harriet Hilliard, and the gang. Until next Tuesday, then.
Red Skelton saying goodbye now, and thanks for listening.
Red Skelton is heard on this program through the courtesy of Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
Smooth going is right. But that's only part of it. Sir Walter Raleigh smokes mellow, tasty, too. Leaves your pipe happy, clean as a whistle. And that's smoking that any pipe smoker will go for, especially when that fragrant Sir Walter Raleigh smoke's so easy and even besides. You see, Sir Walter Raleigh's choice burleys aren't dosed with gummy flavorings that clog up your pipe. No, indeed. Sir Walter Raleigh is specially processed with a rum mist, so you get all the natural good taste and cool, even burning pipe after pipe. Never a soggy heel clogging the pipe bowl. For a real comfort smoke, men, a sweeter pipe that smokes clean as a whistle, ask for Sir Walter Raleigh, the quality pipe tobacco of America. And remember, listen to Hildegard tomorrow night and to People Are Funny Friday night over most of these stations. Good night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
You are listening to Golden Age Radio, rumble.com/C/GAR. Brought to you by G3PL.com.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. Each week at this time, the Kraft Cheese Company presents for your enjoyment Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve, written by Leonard L. Levinson. We'll hear from the Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, let me remind you that fall is coming and winter, too. And when chilly winter weather really comes, your family is going to need plenty of wholesome, nourishing energy food. Now, one reliable and economical source of energy is Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. Yes, this delicious new margarine called Parquet is a protective food of high nutritional value. And to make it even better for you, Kraft adds important vitamin A to Parquet margarine's natural goodness. 9,000 units to every single pound. Now, of course, all this wholesome food value wouldn't do much good if your family didn't like Parquet margarine. Well, we think they will. Thousands of American families do. Yes, they like Parquet margarine's delicate, satisfying flavor for table use, for baking, and for pan frying. Best of all, Parquet margarine is economical, yet it's made by Kraft to the same high standards as all Kraft food products. But why not find out for yourself? Yes, why not try a pound or two of wholesome, nourishing Parquet margarine tomorrow? Just ask for Parquet, Parkay. And now for the adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Yes, and now I'll check the grocery bill. 9 and 9 is 18, and 8 is 28. 26. And 7 is, 33, and 5 is...
What are you doing, Uncle
33 and... now I've lost my place.
Sorry I disturbed you.
Yeah, that's all right, Marjorie. I was just checking your household expenses. Part of my job is guardian for you and Leroy, you know.
But we never had any trouble with little things like that before.
We never had to count a Judge Hooker before either. Why, that dyspeptic little judicial blunder.
Oh, now, Uncle Mort. I'll let you get on with your work.
Yes. Guess I'll have to start all over again. 9 and 9 is 18, and 8 is 28. 26. And 7 is...
Excuse me, Mr. Gildersleeve. Ham or beef?
And 7... Lost it again. Ham or beef what?
Filling.
What filling?
Sandwich filling.
What sandwich?
That's what I want to know. Ham or beef?
Cheese.
Yes, sir.
Yes. 9 and a cheese sandwich is 18. And, 26. Well, I got it right the first time. And 7 is...
Say, Uncle Mort, supposing I could buy a swell airplane motor cheap, what would you say?
9 and 9 is 18. Where am I? Oh, back at the bottom again.
But I can, Uncle Mort. I can buy a practically brand new Bumblebee plane motor for $19 from Piggy Banks.
What are piggy banks?
They aren't anything. He's my pal.
Ew.
And this engine is such a bargain, I'm ashamed to buy it for that price.
You needn't be ashamed, Leroy. You're not going to buy it.
But, Uncle Mort.
Young man, you're far too young to take up flying.
But this is a miniature plane motor. It fits right in my model super-duper swooper.
A model plane. Well, I forgot you were a flying bug.
That's a good one, Uncle Mort. How's about that $19?
Yeah. Hold on, Leroy. $19 is a lot of money.
Oh, not for this motor, Unc. Piggy'd never part with it except his plane made an emergency landing into his pop store window.
And he wants $19 for the motor?
No, he wants $19 for a new window.
Yeah.
Can I have the dough, Uncle Mort?
Well, I'm afraid not, Leroy. That's quite a large sum. And you know I've got to account to Judge Hooker for every penny you children spend.
Oh, why can't he keep his nose out of our business?
But that is his business, Leroy, sticking his nose into other people's. And he's got plenty of equipment for the job, too.
Oh, but gee whiz, Uncle Mort. I bet you had a model airplane motor when you were my age.
When I was your age, my boy, there were no airplanes. Everybody thought the Wright brothers were wrong.
Well, I bet you had some hobby.
Let me see. What did I have? Oh, yes, I had dynamite.
Dynamite?
Yes, Dynamite was the name of my Shetland pony. Oh. He was my hobby, that little horse. I can see him now. Bless his shaggy coat.
Well, if you could have a big horse, Unc, why can't I have a little motor?
Because I earned the money to buy dynamite, my boy.
You earned $19? How'd you do it, huh?
Well, selling lobsters. I lived on the East Coast when I was a lad, and I got my spending money out of a string of lobster pots.
I never knew lobsters grew in pots.
They don't grow there, Leroy. That's how you catch them. I can still remember how hard it was in the winter. Getting up before dawn, rowing 5 miles, sometimes in a biting gale, just to tend my pots. Rowing back to market with my boat full of lobsters and my hands full of blisters, then walking 5 miles to school. Yes. It's wonderful to think what you'll do when you're young and you want a pony.
Say, whatever became of that pony?
Well, I took Dynamite to school one day and he bit the teacher. We didn't have school for a month.
Gee, instead of a motor, maybe I should get a pony.
Yeah?
No, I guess not. I'll stick to aviation. There's more of a future in that.
Yes. But, Leroy, I said I wasn't going to give you the money.
Oh, that's all right, Uncle Mort. I'm going to earn it, just like you did.
A splendid idea. It'll help build your character, like it did mine. How are you going to do it?
Oh, all I got to do is find a job and earn $19. Then would you let me buy Piggy's Bumblebee engine?
I'll do better than that, my boy. Seeing that you're so ambitious, I'll advance you the money out of my own pocket.
You will?
Yes, and you can pay me back as you earn it.
Oh, gee, Uncle Mort. You've got a heart as big as you are, Uncle Mort. And don't worry about me paying you back. I'll get a job in no time.
Yeah.
And Can I have the $19 now, Uncle Mort?
Now?
Yeah, Piggy's here with me. He can't go home until he gets the money.
Oh, yes, I see. Well, here you are. 10, 15, 17, 18, 19.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, Piggy, it's a deal. Here's the dough.
Youth with its trivial problems. I wonder what kind of a job that boy will get.
Need a boy? Oh, you don't. Need a boy? Oh, you don't. Need a boy?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, we have a morning paper route open. Got a bike?
Sure. When do I start?
5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, this is no cinch job, young man. You've got to deliver those papers every morning, rain or shine. Now, do you think you can swing it?
Oh, sure. I'm awfully reliable, mister. I take after my uncle. He used to get up every morning and row 5 miles into the teeth of a gale and then row 5 miles back.
Oh, delivering papers?
No, lobsters.
Yeah. Well, I guess you'll do. What's your name and address, young man?
Leroy Forrester, 747 Parkside Avenue.
Okay, Leroy. Now advance and take the early bird's pledge. Neither snow nor rain, nor hail nor flood shall stop the carriers of the Summerfield Indicator Vindicator from delivering their papers and collecting at the end of the month.
I do.
Good. Now wear this pin, your badge of honor as an early bird, and may its luster never be tarnished.
No, sir.
And remember, for every paper that isn't delivered before 7 a.m., you'll be Dr. Nickel.
Strange. Leroy isn't usually late for dinner, is he, Bertie?
No, ma'am. Dinner's usually late for him.
Have you tried phoning any place?
I don't know where.
Well, how about this young friend of his, Porky Pine? No, Hogface something or other. Oh, yes, Piggy Banks. What's his phone number? Let's call him, huh?
I got a job.
Well, congratulations, my boy.
What you doing getting jobs at supper time?
Yeah.
What kind of a job is it, Leroy?
Delivering a paper route for the Indicator Vindicator.
Well, isn't that peachy? Indicator Vindicator, huh?
Yeah.
When do you start?
Tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock.
5 in the morning?
Did he say 5?
You hear what the boy say?
Yeah.
Yeah, that means I gotta get up at 4.
Oh, Leroy, you can't get up that early.
Oh, yes, I can. I'll set all the alarm clocks in the house.
Oh, Leroy, I'm afraid you're a little too young for that sort of thing. Maybe next year.
Oh, but you had a much tougher job, Unc. You told me.
Uncle's a big man.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't a man then. He wasn't even an uncle. You promised me I could do this. Uncle Mort, you promised me I could do it, and I promised the circulation manager. How'd it look if we both broke our promises?
It looked better than getting up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I agree with you. This puts me in rather a bad spot, Leroy. What would Judge Hooker say about this?
That is building my character.
Well.
Now, I better go to bed if I'm going to get up at 4 o'clock.
But you haven't had dinner yet.
Okay, then, let's eat. What's delaying dinner, Bertie?
What's delaying, he said. Look here, you, Leroy. We got ham for dinner, and whilst waiting for you, I frizzled it, defrizzled it, and refrizzled it until it's frazzled. You dressed already, Leroy?
Yep, up bright and early, Bertie.
Hello, Bertie. Good morning, Leroy. Oh, don't look at me. I haven't had time to put on my makeup. I'm a sight.
Gee, sis, I never knew you looked like that. I like you better without makeup.
Looks like a skinned rabbit to me.
Stop. Have you had anything to eat, Leroy?
Oh, yeah, I fixed myself a swell breakfast.
What did you have?
A ketchup sandwich and a peanut bar.
Land of Goshen, boy, that ain't no breakfast. I'm gonna fix you some pancakes.
What was that?
Oh, just a little drizzle.
A little drizzle? Why, Leroy, it's coming down in buckets.
Where?
Why, look at that street. It's flooded. Why, the water's running over the curb. You can't go out in weather like this.
Oh, yes, I can. Neither snow nor rain, nor hail nor flood shall stop the carriers of the Indicator Vindicator. I do.
You don't. Not this morning.
Oh, gee, Marge, I got my rubber boots and my slicker and my rain cap out in the hall, and I'll be riding my bike.
You're not going out in that rain.
Oh, shucks. This is nothing to what Uncle Mort had to face when he was a boy. He used to row 5 miles out to sea in a lobster pot.
I don't care if he... Oh, Uncle Mort. Why, he could take out the car and drive you around. I'm going to wake him up right now.
Oh, gee whiz. Who ever heard of a guy's uncle driving him around a paper route?
Oh, Uncle Throckmorton.
That's very good, Judge Hooker.
Uncle Mort.
Yeah, giddy up, Dynamite.
Uncle Mort, wake up. Wake up, Uncle Mort.
Who's that?
It's me, Marjorie.
Marjorie who? Oh, Marjorie you. Yeah. Good night, Marjorie.
No. Wake up, Uncle.
What's the matter? Fire?
No, rain. Coming down in torrents, Uncle Mort.
It is, huh?
Yes.
Well, don't try to stop it.
No, Uncle Mort, you've got to get up.
Yes, that's nice.
Leroy insists on starting his job this morning, and you've got to help him.
Yes, a very good point.
You must get the car out and drive him all over his paper route.
Yes, to build his character. What? I do?
Yes. Now put on some clothes and come into the kitchen. Bertie's fixing some coffee.
But coffee will keep me awake.
Hurry now, Uncle Mort.
Yes, all right. Where's the light? Oh!
What's wrong?
I burned myself. That bulb is still hot.
Why, Uncle Mort, what time did you get to bed?
Well, I was reading a detective novel. It must have been about 3:30. What time is it now?
4.
Oh, my.
Won't you go back to sleep? Leroy's waiting for you in the kitchen.
Yes, bright boy.
But if people don't get their papers, Leroy, they'll understand it, because it's on account of the rain.
Bertie's right, Leroy.
No, look. I got almost 100 customers. And if I don't deliver 100 papers, I get docked a nickel apiece. That's $5.
You do?
Yeah, and suppose it rains steady for a week. Then I'll owe the company $35. Why, at that rate, it'll cost me $150 a month just not to deliver papers. I can't afford it.
Uncle Mort has very kindly consented to drive you around, Leroy.
Oh, gee, you shouldn't have disturbed him. He had it tough enough when he was a kid. He's entitled to some rest now.
Coffee.
Here you is, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Thanks. Somebody hold the saucer. I think I can handle the cup.
I hate to rush you, Uncle Mort, but we'll have to hurry.
Hurry? Where are we going?
You're driving Leroy around his paper route, Uncle Mort, because of the rain.
You better put on something warmer than that bathrobe and them pajamas. You know summer's all over.
He won't have to get out of the car. Here's your overcoat, Unc. That's all you'll need.
Yes, thank you.
There, we're all set. Now let's go.
Okay. Which way's the door?
Right through here.
Yeah. Oh, it's raining. What am I doing out in the rain?
You're going to help me deliver my papers.
Papers? What papers?
The man said they'd leave the bundle right here on the porch.
Where? I can't see any.
Hey, Uncle Mort.
What?
They left the papers all right.
Yes. Why in the name of Pulitzer did they give you a newspaper route at the other end of town, Leroy?
That was the only one open, Unc. Say, I bet this reminds you of the good old days.
What good old days?
You know, when you went out to the sea lobster potting.
Yeah. By George, I wish I'd never brought those lobsters up. How much farther is it, Leroy?
Oh, just a block or two. Oh, no, stop right here.
Yeah.
Here's my first customer. The Taj Mahal Bungalow Court. You just wait here while I deliver 4 papers.
Yes. Better turn on the radio or I'll fall asleep.
And so, if you're troubled with insomnia, why don't you trot right down to your nearest open all-night drugstore and purchase a can of Dr. Dollop's delicious Dream Drops?
Is that so?
Yes. And And tell the druggist that Bert, the night clerk, sent you.
Yes?
And after you've taken a dozen drops, you'll doze into a delightful delirium from...
That guy would put an owl to sleep.
Okay, Uncle Mort. Right straight ahead to the next corner.
Yeah.
Now turn right.
Right.
Oh, careful of that milk wagon, Uncle Mort.
What milk wagon? I don't... Oh! Yeah, whoa.
Hey, you! What you mean, running into my wagon?
What are you doing in the middle of the road?
I'm parked against the curb, you big chowderhead.
Oh! Now, see here, don't you talk to me that way, or I'll pasteurize you, you little half-pint peddler.
Look out, Uncle Mort. He ain't so little.
He ain't? I mean, he isn't? Oh, well, he can't frighten me.
I got a good notion to report you to the police. Skidding around that corner and smacking up against my wagon and shoving my horse into a mailbox.
I didn't mail your horse. Huh?
Yes, and shaking up my milk, too.
Well, that's good.
Why don't you stay home nights like respectable folks?
No, see here.
I'm always having trouble with you playboys.
Playboys? What do you mean?
Why don't you buck out the street? There, now, see what you did? You woke up all my customers.
I did not. You woke him up yourself.
Let's get out of here, Uncle Mort. I still got a lot of papers to deliver.
Yes, that's right. Let's get out of here. It's too noisy. The nerve of that milkman. Parked in the dark. And by Jove, he didn't have his taillight burning, did he, Leroy?
I didn't notice.
Well, he didn't. I think I'll go right back and...
No. We haven't got time, Unc.
Yeah.
We've just been out for 15 minutes, and I'm already half an hour behind schedule.
Yeah. Lucky for that milkman that you are. I'm just beginning to think of some things I should have told him. Funny, they always come just 5 minutes too late.
You better watch where you're going, Uncle Mort. The water's pretty deep here. You might get off the road.
Does seem to be getting deeper, doesn't it? Yep. Throw your flashlight on that sign over there, Leroy.
Sure.
Can you read it? What does it say?
Warning, no fishing allowed.
Oh! Oh, my goodness, a lake. Where's the street? I better turn around.
It's back that way.
Yes, I see it now. We'll be on dry land in a moment.
Uh-oh, we're in a hole.
Hole? Don't worry, Leroy. Everything's going to be all right. Yeah. I think the carburetor's flooded with water.
Boy, now we are in a hole.
Yeah.
I wonder what we can do now.
Well,
Oh, boy.
Huh?
We're going to get a break, Uncle Mort. Somebody's coming down the street.
Well.
Hey, mister, will you pull us out?
Sure, partner. Oh, Nellie.
Oh, Nellie.
Oh. Say, ain't this the car that ran into me over on Quinn Avenue?
Yes. But,
wow. If you haven't got more brass than the Marine Band. Asking me to pull you out.
Yes, but I'm willing to pay old.
No, thanks. Giddy up, Nellie.
Go jump in your milk, both of you.
It's getting pretty late, Uncle Mort, and we still have a lot of papers to deliver. What are we going to do?
Well, the car won't move, Leroy. Looks like we'll have to travel the rest of the way on foot. And I'm wearing bedroom slippers. Well, at least it stopped raining. You come on, Leroy. You take that bundle, and I'll carry the rest. Ooh, the water is cold.
You want me to carry a piggyback, Uncle Mort?
This is no time for joking, Leroy. Oh, good gravy. It's started to rain again.
Okay, come on, Uncle Mort. Just 12 more papers to deliver and we're through.
George, I'm soaked to the marrow. And on me, that's pretty far down.
Here's 2100 Burnside. It's your turn to put it on the porch, Unc.
That's a long walk up there, Leroy, and I'm rapidly reaching the end of my tether. Suppose I just throw it up on the porch, huh?
Oh, no. You can't do that. Us early birds aren't allowed to throw papers, Uncle Mort.
Well, I'm no early bird. I'll bet my aim is still pretty good, too.
Oh, but we've got orders.
Oh, it's all right. Just this once, huh? Watch me place it on the porch. Yep. There it goes.
Oh, gee. It hit a window on the second floor. I told you you shouldn't...
Let's not stand around, Leroy. We delivered the paper, didn't we? Come on, quick. We might as well get going.
Operator. Where's that operator? Get me the police department at once. Hello, police. This is Judge Hooker at 2100 Burnside. An attempt has just been made on my life. Somebody threw something wrapped in a newspaper through my window. It might be a bomb. I'm trying a gangster in my court, and his mob is probably trying to rub me out. Get him at all costs. Spread out a dragnet. Do something.
Attention, all cars. Proceed to 21st and Burnside Streets. Judge Hooker's home has been bombed. Stop and question everyone. Investigate all parked cars. Bring all suspicious characters to headquarters. That is all. Rosenblatt.
Oh, listen to those sirens, Leroy. Must be some excitement around here. I wonder what...
Did you sneeze, Uncle Mort?
What does it sound like?
Sounds like you're catching a cold.
Oh.
I only got 4 more papers to deliver. Why don't you go home from here?
Oh, no, I wouldn't run out on you. Well, if you insist, that's a different matter. Maybe I'd better get into some dry clothes.
Oh,
huh?
sure. Just go straight down 21st Street to Parkside. So long.
Yeah, so long, Leroy. See you at home. Oh, it's as cold as Judge Hooker's heart, and I'm as wet as a mad hen. I wonder if those policemen would mind giving me a lift home. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Hey, officer?
Yeah?
Hello, officer. I wonder if you're going my way. I'm all wet.
I'll say you're all wet. Why don't you call a cab, mister?
Well, you know how cabs are. They're like policemen. Anytime you need one, you can never find... Oh, what am I saying? Present company accepted, of course.
Where have you been, buddy?
Hello. 2 of you. Well, I've been out delivering morning papers.
Delivering papers in pajamas and bedroom slippers?
Yeah, an overcoat, don't forget.
What do you think, Joe?
Smells.
Smells to me, too.
Well, I assure you, officers, it's true. I did it all for my little nephew's character. We're building it, you know. It was raining too hard for him to take his bicycle, so I drove him around.
Yeah? Where's your car?
It broke down.
Where?
Well, I can't tell you exactly, but it was right near a no fishing sign.
Yeah? Oh, where's your nephew?
He went that way. Say, fellows, I'm terribly cold. Couldn't you give me a lift?
What do you think, Joe?
Okay.
Get in.
Oh, thanks very much. Ooh, a gun. Yes. I hope this isn't going to be out of your way, boys. I live at 747 Parkside.
Got it, Joe?
Sure.
Oh, but you're headed the wrong way, Joe.
Oh, no, I'm not, buddy. I'm headed for police headquarters.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, Mr. Gildersleeve, you say your aim wasn't very good.
Yes, Judge Rand. I hadn't had much sleep, and, well, I had the wind and the rain and my hair in my eyes.
And so, instead of throwing the paper on this man's porch, you broke an upstairs window.
Yes. I was trying to throw a curve, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, your story sounds reasonable, and if you'll just wait in the sergeant's office till he can check it...
Oh, gladly.
I think you'll be able to go home in an hour or less.
I want to thank you, Judge Rand, for being so nice to me. Yes.
Here you caught the man who tried to kill me. Let's get a look at him.
Here, one moment. This is a police court, not a pool room. Who are you?
Judge Hooker, Superior Court, Department 25.
Well, I'm Justice of the Peace Rand, the Sunrise Court. Take off your hat.
Oh, excuse me. I'm a little excited. My life's been threatened, and I want to confront the coward who... Gildersleeve.
Yeah, hello, Judge Hooker.
Do you know this man?
Of course. What's he doing here?
Well, we picked him up near your place. He's the one...
Uh-huh. I see it all now. You were trying to...
I was not.
Don't lie.
Order! Order!
Yes, order. Order in the court.
Order.
Now, Gildersleeve, you better make a clean breast of it. Confess, and I might be inclined to be more lenient.
Say, wait a second.
It's all right. I'm trying this case. Now, tell me, Gildersleeve, what was in that newspaper you threw into my bedroom?
I don't know what was in it, Judge. I didn't read it.
Now, Judge Hooker, I've heard this man's story.
I'll listen to you later. Gildersleeve, you're guilty of breaking and entering my home.
But, Judge, I've never been in your home.
You threw something, didn't you?
Yes, but...
And it broke something and entered somewhere, didn't it?
Yes,
Then, by your own admission, you're guilty, and by virtue of the laws of the state, I hereby sentence you to 1 year.
One moment, Judge Hooker. This isn't your court. I'm the judge here, and I'm capable of running things.
All right. I don't want to tell you your business.
Then don't. Now, Mr. Gildersleeve, I don't think it's necessary to question your word any further. You broke Judge Hooker's window, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And for that, Mr. Gildersleeve, I'm going to require you to pay for installing a new window.
Yes, sir.
Is that all you're going to do?
No, not quite.
Well, that's better.
I've never before seen such disregard for the dignity of a courtroom, of the rights of others, as you've shown here this morning, Judge Hooker.
Who, me?
Yes, and I'm going to cite you for contempt of court.
What?
$25 fine or 30 days in jail.
Yeah, this is wonderful.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few minutes. But right now, I wonder what the parquet margarine users who are listening in would say if I asked them why they like parquet. Well, it's a pretty good guess that they like parquet first because of its delicious flavor. And a good many would answer, too, that they like parquet because they can use it so many ways. Yes, parquet margarine is so good tasting, you'll be proud to serve it at your table. And for the same reason, you like it for seasoning, for baking, and for pan frying, too. Why, more and more these days, good cooks are insisting on a flavor shortening for baking. A shortening that adds its own tempting taste to cookies, cakes, and pastries. And a flavor shortening is just what parquet margarine is. You'll find parquet's flavor makes it a delicious seasoning for hot vegetables, too, and a grand fat for pan frying that doesn't spatter or stick to the pan. And whether you use parquet margarine at the table, for seasoning, as a flavor shortening, or for pan frying, don't forget parquet is a nutritious food and a reliable year-round source of vitamin A. Now, when you go to your food store, don't just ask for margarine. Ask for parquet margarine made by Kraft. Remember, Kraft's reputation for quality backs every pound of parquet. So be sure to say parquet margarine. It's made by Kraft.
You know, Leroy, I don't think this paper route was such a good idea after all. I wish you'd give it up.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about that.
If you
Uncle
quit
Mort.
this job, I'll pay for that motor myself.
Well, thanks, Uncle Mort, but...
Now, stop interrupting, Leroy. I'll even buy you the most expensive model plane there is, if you don't carry papers anymore.
Oh, but Jim...
Now, make up your mind, Leroy. Will you take my offer?
Well, if you feel that way about it, okay.
Fine. Yeah. Now, what were you going to say?
I was trying to tell you, Uncle Mort, I was fired this morning.
What? Good night.
You have probably heard that September 15th through 20th is Retailers for Defense Week. During this week, your regular food dealer will be selling defense stamps. When shopping, you can help this patriotic cause by taking your change in defense stamps. Original music heard on this program was composed and conducted by William Randolph. This is Jim Bannon speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to be with us again next week at this same time for further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Exciting news. Join us vibrant landscapes and diverse culture of Brazil. Lost in Brazil brings you to captivating videos showcasing heart-pounding adventures, mouth-watering cuisine, and hidden gems of this incredible country. From bustling cities to tranquil beaches, our videos capture the essence of Brazil's beauty, experience the warmth of its people, the rhythm of its music, and the thrill of exploration. Click on the link in the description to find out more.
I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Old Time Radio Research Group for their remarkable efforts in preserving and archiving the captivating world of old-time radio programs. Their invaluable contribution allows us to step back in time and experience the magic of radio history firsthand. Their link is in the description below.